Now, we proudly present Berwick Bulldogs football on Pop Radio. Brought to you by Bob Subs, W&L Subaru, Nissan, Mazda, and Collision Center, First Columbia Bank and Trust, Flick Brothers Electric, Independence Ford, Preferred Portables, Mayo Funeral Home, Neighbor Fence Company, S.J. Kowalski, Reds Roofing, Nespoli Jewelers, ND Accounting, Mason Monogram, Eco First, Lehigh Valley Health Network, and Blaze Alexander Family Buick GMC of Bloomsburg. Now, with Andy Ulickney, here's the voice of the Dogs, Jim Doyle.
Good evening, everyone. Tonight from Jim Roth Field at Tiger Stadium at Southern Columbia High School, it's the Bulldogs in their season opener taking on the Tigers of Southern Columbia. I am Jim Doyle along with Andy Ulickney. The producer of this broadcast is Julie Lentz. Well, a season ago, in Mike Bennett's first year as head coach, Berwick had a losing record during the season, still qualified for the District 2 4A playoffs, and made it to the semifinals before being knocked out by eventual champion Crestwood. Bulldogs lost some real star power from that team. Division I recruits Dre Wilk and Spencer Kishbaugh. Starting quarterback Matt Lenzinski, who threw 19 touchdown passes and many more. There is talent returning. A lot of it's young talent. Some of the elder statesmen, though, are very, very good, like Harrison Snyder, a two-way lineman that's going to play some different positions this season, but he is terrific at 6'3", 220 pounds, a senior. Berwick has some real speed, some of the top sprinters in the Wyoming Valley Conference, and they're all youngsters. So there is some promise, but the Bulldogs will have a challenge here tonight. Southern Columbia lost some star power of their own, Braden Wisloski and Wes Barnes in particular. Those two combined for over 6,000 career rushing yards. They have gone away, but the word is that Southern Columbia, particularly on the defensive side, is going to be as good as ever. And they will welcome back Garrett Garcia, who you probably remember a year ago on the opening kickoff of this first game of the season at Crispin Field. Suffered a very bad knee injury, missed the rest of the season. And Southern struggled during the season. They lost 3 games. For them, that was the first time since 2009. But they rebounded nicely, came back, and won an unprecedented 6th consecutive state championship, 13 in a row. So those are the matchups for tonight in this opener, Berwick against Southern Columbia. You know, over the years, I've talked to several athletes who didn't know how much they appreciated the sport until they didn't have it, until they were injured and had to sit out a season or two. Well, I'm welcoming back to the microphones of Pop Radio tonight Andy Ulickney, who missed almost all of last season with severe back problems. Andy, how good is it to be back? How much did you miss it?
Boy, I tell people this is like Christmas Day for me every year. And to go a season without being able to sit here and broadcast or be at games live or on the sidelines or playing, I've never done that. Now it's nice to lock into the radio and stream into games and follow Berwick and follow Southern in the playoffs and follow BU and, you know, but there's nothing like being here live. I think outside of Garrett Garcia, who got injured in the kickoff of the opener, no one's more excited to be back in the seat and ready for some football than I am.
The challenge for Berwick tonight, and it's probably going to be the challenge for every team that Southern Columbia faces this season, is how to score against this defense. Jim Roth is not one to brag about his team or hype up his team, but when he says it might be the best defense we've had since 2019 when they had 5 Division I players on it, that tells you something. This is a tough group, and the challenge for Berwick is to somehow get some points on the board.
Everybody is good, and they're all schooled well at their position with their technique. They're all lifting the weights in the weight room. They're all fighting for positional time. Just about every position rotates other people in to keep them fresh, and they're one-way players to begin with. But then add in the superstars. Isaac Carter, Jim, we haven't talked enough about him. But for people who watch the documentary Roar, he was featured in it, and you saw a football player there, but people don't realize he didn't play the regular season as a player, only as a kicker. He's starting at defensive tackle in this game, and he's quite a force. Colton Bloom is getting attention where, college coaches see him and smile and write him down on their pads as someone they'd like to see. And the two inside linebackers, Garrett Garcia led the team in tackles in 2022 as a sophomore. Dominic Fedorov led the team in tackles last year as a sophomore. There's not a better pair of inside linebackers. In fact, I don't think I'd trade either one of them for anyone in the state as an inside linebacker.
Andy will be by later with the keys to tonight's game. When we return, we'll hear from the winningest coach in the history of high school football in Pennsylvania, Southern Columbia's Jim Roth. You're listening to Berwick Football on Pop Radio.
Drive your new GMC home today. New vehicles have been hard to come by. So at Alexander Family Buick GMC, we've been telling you to reserve your new GMC truck or SUV. But with 25 new GMCs in stock now and 25 more to arrive soon, you don't have to reserve one. You can drive one home today. And with the highest trade values, the lowest rates, and the Blaze Alexander lowest price guaranteed, now is the time to drive one off our lot. Shop online where we're always open. Alexander Family Buick GMC in Bloomsburg. Taking the deals the other guys won't.
Proud sponsor of Penn State Athletics.
Save today on a great selection of the best appliance brands and discover top-notch service at Flick Brothers Electric in Bloomsburg. Browse their showroom, which features appliances in a variety of different kitchen configurations and offers appliances and water heaters for every budget. Flick Brothers showcases top names like GE and GE Monogram, Whirlpool, Frigidaire, KitchenAid, Maytag, Sharp, Amana, and built in the USA Speed Queen and Viking appliances. Flick Brothers Electric, Maple Lane, Bloomsburg for over 65 years. Call 570-784-3444.
The subs at Bob's Subs and Pizza in Berwick have so much meat in them you'll be having leftovers for days. The Italian is piled high with fresh slices of ham, capicola, salami, and pepperoni on a freshly baked bun. Bob's cheesesteak oozes with cheesy goodness woven into a mountain of thinly sliced ribeye steak. So if you're tired of bland, unsatisfying subs, Bob's Subs and Pizza in Berwick is your new go-to. With over 22 different kinds of sumptuous, hearty subs, you'll find just the one or two to cure your cravings. And the pizza at Bob's Subs and Pizza, oh, it's so good. Bob's Subs and Pizza in Berwick. Taste the difference.
It's the season of Discovery sales event all month long at W&L Mazda.
Discover the exhilarating power and stunning design of the all-new Mazda CX-90, just in time for back-to-school season.
Plus, all this month, W&L is offering financing rates as low as 4.9% for 60 months on select Mazda CX-5 and CX-90s.
We're off Route 11 in Northumberland and online at WNLMazda.com.
Financing offer valid for well-qualified applicants only on Mazda CX-5 and Mazda CX-90 models. Offer ends 8/31/23.
This is Berg football coach Mike Bennett. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Hot and humid, steamy night here at Jim Roth Field as we get set for the 2023 season opener. The Bulldogs of Berwick against the Tigers of Southern Columbia. In their preseason scrimmage last Saturday morning here at Jim Roth Field in Tiger Stadium, Southern Columbia went against traditional District 2 4A power Valley View. Afterwards, Tigers coach Jim Roth evaluated his team's performance.
I thought we played really well defensively. I thought our defensive front was strong and did a good job against our running game. And that is the area that we expected to be our biggest strength coming into the season was our defensive front, and they kind of showed that today. Not just in the run defense, but they did a great job of getting pressure on the quarterback when we didn't, have any kind of linebacker stun or a blitz called. And that's a huge plus defensively if we can have a front four that's athletic enough to put pressure on the quarterback without having to blitz. So overall, the front, I thought, played well, and we expected that because that's really should be the strength of our team. And then I was pleased with the way the secondary played. There's experience there. Murphy was a full-time starter. Chrisman and Hoy rotated, so they played a lot. And it looks like all three of them, have taken that next step and are playing at a higher level than they were last year. They look more confident. I was extremely pleased with the way they played the deep balls down the field because that's not an easy thing to do at any level. And they looked relaxed and poised playing those deep balls and just did a good job in coverage. So defensively, I thought it was a good effort against a quality team. And offensively, they were good size and physical up front. And, we had to earn things, and I thought we executed okay. We can do better. The offensive line, we only have one returning starter, so we're going to have a little bit of an adjustment there. I think till we get to the point where we're more consistent with sustaining blocks and getting a little more push off the ball. Again, this was a tough opener for those new guys. They did an okay job. In most cases, they gave us that initial hole, but they really didn't sustain the blocks as well as we would like them to. And then I felt that our backs didn't have the burst that we would like to see them have once they hit the hole. And that's just kind of typical of a first scrimmage. We don't run the ball live in practice, so it was our first live competition, and I know that will come, by the first game where we'll do a little better job reading, with the ball as far as our running backs and also, having that vision and that burst once they hit the hole. I thought Blake did a nice job. He threw some nice passes, and he missed a couple, and we just really want to do a better job in the passing game this year, especially with play action. And we probably threw the ball more today in our first scrimmage than we have in years. And we want to emphasize that a little bit more and just have some more balance on offense. It will just, if we can hit some of those balls down the field, it's going to make our running game that much better.
Opener again is Berwick. It's the second season for Mike Bennett as the head coach. He faced them last year and was a real tough struggle for you in the first half at Crispin Field. What do you expect in this opener?
Well, I think they're going to be diversified on offense again. I expect them to run spread, and we're probably going to see a lot of formations, and they're going to stretch the field on us and try to get the ball down the field. And so I think our pass defense is going to be huge on that side of the ball against them. Hopefully we can hold up front. As I said, our defensive front has looked good, and we have a lot of experience and some decent strength up front defensively. So I think the big key going into the key matchup is going to be our offensive line against our defensive front. And I know last year, we got things going in the second half, but just their defensive scheme and the way they come off the ball and the way they mix things up with their defensive front, it was certainly a struggle, especially for the first half last year. And so I think that's going to be the key matchup in this game is really how well our offensive line can match up with their defensive front and how well we can, block them both on, run and pass plays.
Southern Columbia coach Jim Roth starting his 40th season as head coach, the all-time winningest coach in Pennsylvania, 484 wins, just 66 losses and 2 ties. In fact, if you look at the whole history of high school football in the United States, Jim is 6th overall, and more importantly, 2nd best in winning percentage. In fact, he's less than half a percentage point behind J.T. Curtis from Louisiana for the all-time leader in that important department. Southern Columbia against the Bulldogs to kick off the season. We'll take a look at Berwick's starting lineup when we return. You're listening to Berwick Football and Pop Radio.
Planning your next big event? Weddings, concerts, church festivals, even construction sites. Preferred Portables has you covered. Preferred Portables offers a luxury restroom trailer that even has hot water. No power? No problem. They can provide a generator to keep the lights on. They even provide sanitary service to campgrounds, parks, parties, and have 24-hour emergency service. Contact Preferred Portables to learn about event and contractor pricing. Check out their website, preferredportables.com. We're number one when you have to go number 2.
Looking for convenient and reliable dumpster rentals for your residential or commercial project? Eco First Logistics has you covered with dumpster rentals from Bloomsburg to Hazleton and surrounding areas. Their dumpster rental service is designed to make waste disposal easy, hassle-free, and eco-friendly. Whether you're planning a construction or renovation project, junk removal, or a major cleanup, they carry a range of dumpster sizes to fit your needs and ensure that what can be saved is sorted out. On the web at eco-firstlogistics.com or on Facebook.
Hi, this is Cassidy from the Independence Ford Service Department, Route 11 in Bloomsburg. Does your Ford or Lincoln vehicle need service? Having trouble getting an appointment at your usual service center? At Independence Ford, we can and will take care of all your service needs. Regardless of where you purchase your Ford or Lincoln vehicle, our goal is to get you back on the road. Give me a call for an appointment today at 784-1414.
Come and get a great deal and total satisfaction.
Independence Ford, better people, better prices.
The Mayo Funeral Homes, located at 110 Chestnut Street in Berwick and 77 Main Street in Chickashinny, are proud sponsors of Berwick Bulldog football. The Mayo Funeral Homes, serving all faiths, makes it easier for those you love with prearranged funeral counseling, insurance, and pre-financed funerals. Mayo Funeral Homes also offers expert guidance in both traditional and cremation services. Mayo Funeral Homes, perfection in every detail.
This is Berwick football coach Mike Bennett. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
For the third consecutive season, Berwick opening the season against Southern Columbia. Tigers have won the last 2 years. Last year was a wild one. Berwick led 14-0 at the half. Then, because of lightning, an hour and 45-minute halftime delay ensued, and Southern Columbia turned things around completely in the second half, beat the Bulldogs 42-27. Berwick does have a win in this series. You have to go back to 1965 in a game at Crispin Field. The Bulldogs won that one 34-13. Starting lineup offensively for the Dogs, the tight end will be number 34, Harrison Snyder. Played a lot of tackle last season on the offensive side. Terrific two-way player, 6'3", 220-pound senior. J.J. Leonard is the left tackle. He wears number 56. Saw a lot of varsity action last year as a ninth grader. He's 6 foot, 230 pounds, now a sophomore. The left guard is number 78, Liam Carroll. He was the starting center a year ago. Bulldogs feel he'll be more valuable to them at the guard position. 5'10", he's put on some weight, 232 pounds. He is a senior. The center is number 51, Gavin Jones. He is 5'7", 195, a junior. The right guard is number 62, Matt Gordner. He was thrown into the fire late last season when a couple of seniors left the team, and he acquitted himself very, very well as a ninth grader. Now he's 6 foot, 265, and a sophomore. And the right tackle, who started last season, Chase Shuckers. He wears number 64. He is 6'1", 268 pounds, a junior. Berwick with a new quarterback this season. Ethan Lear will be starting for the first time. He played some a year ago, but limited time. He was 5 for 6 in passing for 59 yards and a touchdown. He's a good runner as a quarterback. 20 carries last season for 159 yards. Ethan is 6'1", 185, a senior. He's also a terrific long snapper. In fact, colleges are looking at him at that position. The running backs for Berwick. Again, this is a rebuilding mode in the sense that they lost their top 3 rushers. They lost their top 3 receivers. A running back who did get 30 carries a year ago is expected to get a lot more this season. He is a senior, Tyler Winter, 5'7", 165, wearing number 5. The fullback, when they use one, number 33, Jimmy DeAndrea. He's 5'11", 195, a senior. He really showed his speed in the scrimmage at Central Columbia last Saturday. Ran 84 yards for a touchdown, outracing the secondary to do it. And speaking of speed, Ty Wilkerson is a sophomore with worlds of it. He is 6'1", 165. They'll throw to him. They'll throw to the most veteran of the receivers, number 11, Billy Hansen, who is a 6'1", 168-pound junior. That is the starting lineup for the Bulldogs under Mike Bennett in his second season as head coach. They were 5-7 a year ago, advancing to the District 2 4A semifinals before losing to eventual champion Crestwood. For Southern Columbia, their offense will start at the tight end with number 44, C.J. Swank Dorchek. He's 5'9", 185, a junior. We'll also see a ninth grader, number 8, Jace Malakowski at 6'3", 190. Southern Columbia normally uses the tight end as a 6th offensive lineman. They don't normally throw to a tight end. They will make it an exception these next 4 years because, by all accounts, Jace Malakowski is a terrific receiving tight end. The starting left tackle for Southern Columbia, number 51, Dylan Stein. He is 5'10", 275, a junior. Jude Bremagen, number 54, starts at left guard. He is the only full-time returning starter on that offensive front. He is 5'10", 210 pounds, a junior. Brayton Lunger starts at center. He's 5'8", 250, a junior. Caden Schultz will be the right guard, 6'2", 190, a senior. He will rotate with Robert Long, who's a 5'10", 190-pound senior. Robert Long rotated as the starting center a year ago. John Quinton is the right tackle. He is a sophomore, 6'2", 230 pounds. Blake Wise is the starting quarterback, 6'3", 160, a senior. This is the 28th start of his career. He's quarterbacked the Tigers to 2 state championships, and they figured to use him more in the passing game than they did a year ago, when he threw for 784 yards and 7 touchdowns. Tigers of Southern Columbia just now making their way on this, the near side of the field. Black jerseys, black pants, black helmets, gold numerals with white trim. The running backs, well, there's some changes there. I mentioned Braden Wisloski, who's now at Maryland. Wes Barnes, who's set to wrestle at Clarion. They left with over 6,000 career rushing yards to their credit. Loudon Murphy and Carter Madville alternated at a starting spot last year, and they combined for almost 1,000 yards and 23 touchdowns. So that's a lot of experience coming back. Carter Madden, by the way, suffered an ankle injury in the summer, was held out of the scrimmage. We don't expect to see him on defense tonight, but we do expect to see him carry the football. Playing fullback for the first time in his career, senior Garrett Garcia. He is 6'1", 225 pounds. Of course, his brothers, Gage and Gavin, two of the all-time leading rushers here at Southern Columbia. Garrett is bigger than either of them and should be a formidable force at the fullback spot at 6'1" and 225 pounds. As the Bulldogs of Berwick just now make their way on the far side of the field, good crowd from Berwick on hand to greet them. White jerseys, white pants, white helmets, blue numerals, and trim for the Bulldogs. Southern Columbia, coached by Jim Roth, I mentioned earlier, his 40th season as head coach. 484 wins, 66 losses, and 2 ties. Southern Columbia against Berwick. Keys to tonight's game, Andy Lickney.
Well, keys, Jim, for Southern Columbia. You know, they're going to be a favorite in this one. They have the experience back, and they have the legacy of recent years. They need to execute. They're strong, they're experienced, they're talented. They have the tried and true system, and it's vaunted wing T. Can't say Southern's wing T without the word vaunted in there. It's a system of power where you often have a kick-out block and a double down, and it's a system of misdirection. It's very hard to read 3 backs going in all different directions. So it makes for a challenge. Mike mentioned, hope we have the anthem, Jim. Let's break for that.
We do have the national anthem, and it is played by a sophomore from Southern Columbia on the violin, Michaela Williams. Let's listen in. Southern Columbia area. She must get her musical talent from her mother, because Andy and I both know her father, Mike, and he couldn't play a kazoo. So Great job by her. We're just about set to go, but more keys to tonight's game, Andy Lee.
Well, we're talking about the wing tee of Southern Columbia. Jim, Mike Bennett mentioned Southern runs it. You know, their kids have it since middle school. They keep it going for 7-8 years. It's second nature to them, and they do know it. One of the problems is it's some newer personnel and some personnel that you wonder what strength they're at. Garrett Garcia did not play all of last year. He's new to the backfield. How strong is the knee? They gave him a real good workout in the scrimmage, and he looked good. The other member of the backfield, Carter Madden, they have high hopes for him, but he didn't even scrim because of an ankle injury. So 2 of the 3 members, a little questionable. Loudon Murphy's still in there, and others can carry the load, and they expect the 2 starters I mentioned to be strong. What does Southern have to do? They have to read their keys. They have to stay strong. They have to take on the blocks, not follow that misdirection. They're just going to have to keep a good eye on it. They also have to keep an eye on the quarterback, Blake Weiss, passing. He has 2 dangerous receivers in Kyle Chrisman and Jay Coy, who's 6'4". Chrisman's a speedster. So the key will be, can Southern's young offensive line be able to match up to Berwick and keep that vaunted wing tee going and protect the pass? For Berwick, the key will be its offensive line. It comes in highly touted, high expectations. All have started with some time over the course of the past year. They all have some experience. They'll go against Southern's 4-4 defense. That often presents some problems. And, of course, Southern has that very strong and talented personnel up front. How will Berwick match up with that? Another thing Berwick will want to do is use a lot of formations, lose a lot of motion, spread things out, diversify the offense, try to keep Southern off balance instead of being able to gear up and just rush to that football. Hope they can create a mismatch. Hope they can, log on to a mistake here in the early season. It is the opener, and anything can happen. And, Jim, they're taking the field and getting ready for the kickoff.
Berwick won the toss, deferred to the second half, so we'll get a look at Southern Columbia's offense to start things. Luke Peters did a terrific job for Berwick all season long as their kicker. He will be kicking off. Southern Columbia moving from our left to a right as we view things here in the opening half. A talented freshman by the name of Joey Williams is deep for the Bulldogs, along with Loudon Murphy. Still sunshine across most of Jim Roth Field as we get set for the opening kickoff of the 2023 season, which is underway. As the kick goes to the far side of the field, Williams drops the ball at the 5-yard line, trying to make an over-the-shoulder catch. He is going to be hemmed in at about the 12-yard line. So good kickoff by Luke Peters, good coverage by the Bulldogs, and the Tigers will start deep in their own territory against a Berwick defense that will line up with Mike Feld, Chase Shuckers, and J.J. Leonard's the front 3. Linebackers Harrison Snyder, Braylon Hawkins. Inside Jimmy DeAndre and Liam Carroll. The corners Caleb Bay and Josh Kishbaugh. Billy Hansen and Alex Estrella are the safeties. The 13-yard line is where they mark the ball. First play from scrimmage for Southern Columbia. Garcia is the fullback, directly behind Blake Wise. And Garcia gets the call, breaks from the secondary, the 20, the 25, the 30, the 35, still on its feet, caught from behind, out near the 44-yard line. So, Gary Garcia, welcome to a new position.
Yeah, welcome to it. There was only one in the backfield to start, then the motion made 2. He took the ball off the left with minimal blocking, but there was minimal defense. First man couldn't bring him down at the line of scrimmage. Second man 5 yards beyond couldn't bring him down. Shrugged his way past that, and then it took 2 or 3 before Jimmy DeAndre was able to finally corral him after that nice long run.
30 yards on the carry by Garrett Garcia. Southern Columbia at their own 43-yard line. Man in motion, a handoff to the wing. He's over midfield, still on his feet to the 48-yard line. Loudon Murphy on the carry, coming from that wing position.
Yeah.
They mark it at the 49, give him 8 on the play.
Wingback trap, Jude Bremigen, the only returning starter from the offensive line at left guard, pulled from there, came and kicked out and really gave him
incomplete. Berwick was very good at getting after the passer last season. And the very first passing attempt by the opposition this season, they get after him. Mike Fell was in pursuit of Blake Wise. Berwick had 23 sacks a year ago as a team.
Defensive ends.
Here's a 3rd down and 2 for the Berwick 49. Wise under center, backs in an open set. The give is to Garcia. Big hole to the left side. He's at the 40, cuts out.
His right, goes from his left guard, pulls to his left to the outside. That was...
$45 yards on the carry, 30 on his previous. Not a bad start.
Comes out to 75 by my math. Not bad at all.
1st and goal at the 4. Now it's a full house backfield behind Wise. And whistles and flags before the play could get started.
Didn't see movement, but I don't think they took too long.
They did.
They did. Sometime after a long run like that, Jim, your offensive lineman got to do that 45-yard sprint to get back down there, reset, and huddle up. Little slow in getting the play call in, although from the 4-yard line, you call power. Give Gage Garcia a little breather, let him catch his breath, pick one of the other two. Garrett Garcia.
That won't be the first or last time we do that during the course of this season.
Resembled him running.
Loud Murphy, the wing to the left. 1st and goal. Murphy comes in motion, takes the handoff off the right side. He's inside the 5, and he's down to the 4, maybe the 3-yard line. Braylon Hawkins, who played a lot of linebacker for the Bulldogs a season ago, makes the stop, gets back to that original line of scrimmage, the 4, to be 2nd down and goal.
Again, they're really using Jude Bremagen, the left guard, a lot. Murphy comes in motion from left wing, and then he follows the left guard over that right side. Nice kick-out block by Bremagen to get the tough 5 yards in the red zone.
Double tight end alignment. Carter Madden and Garcia, the running backs. Garcia gets the call, tries the right side. He's close, comes down just short. Harrison Snyder on the play for the Bulldogs.
Edge is short. Berwick collapsing on it. But a good push by the Southern's right side of its line. Caden Schultz and John Quinton. Strong running behind that, pumping the legs and putting the nose of the football just about on the goal line.
1 yard away from the first score of the season. Garcia, the call straight ahead, and he is in for the touchdown. Garrett Garcia, first rushing touchdown of his career, gives Southern Columbia the early lead.
Impressive showing by the running backs, 80 yards on his 4 carries for Garrett Garcia. But I'm impressed with the offensive line. Good push straight off there in the power where you just kind of wedge. Quarterback gave him a little tap on the back like that was going to help him along. Didn't need that. And again, impressive play by Jude Bremagen throughout that first series.
Loudon Murphy will hold. The kick by Isaac Carter is up, and the kick is good. Time on the field. Exactly 9 minutes remaining in the opening quarter. Southern Columbia 7, Berwick nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
The subs at Bob's Subs and Pizza in Berwick have so much meat in them, you'll be having leftovers for days. The Italian is piled high with fresh slices of ham, capicola, salami, and pepperoni on a freshly baked bun. Bob's cheesesteak oozes with cheesy goodness woven into a mountain of thinly sliced ribeye steak. So if you're tired of bland, unsatisfying subs, Bob's Subs and Pizza in Berwick is your new go-to. With over 22 different kinds of sumptuous, hearty subs, you'll find just the one or two to cure your cravings. And the pizza at Bob's Subs and Pizza, oh, it's so good. Bob's Subs and Pizza in Berwick. Taste the difference.
The home of the Berwick Bulldogs. This is W234BH Berwick at 94.7. WBWX W242CY Berwick at 96.3. W282CO Bloomsburg at 104.3. W288CF Danville at 105.5. And streaming online at thisispopradio.com. Pop Radio, a Seven Mountains Media radio station.
Great drive by Southern Columbia to start this game as they go 7 plays, 87 yards. Garrett Garcia in from the 1 yard line for the score. Isaac Carter with the extra point. 7-0 Southern Columbia. And Isaac Carter, who put 6 kickoffs in the end zone against Berwick last year to open the season at Crispin Field, will kick it off. Gavin Galusha, a talented freshman, deep for Berwick. Braylon Hawkins as well. And there is a kick by Carter, 7 yards deep. Berwick will take over through 20.
Army coach say they want him for punting, Jim. Didn't mention the kicking. Don't understand what's wrong with that, coach. Can't get anyone better than Carter for both the punting and the kicking game.
So, Bulldogs get it for the first time. They'll be going against a Southern Columbia defense that lines up with Ethan Mikowski, Isaac Carter, Landon Koch, and Colden Bloom, the front four. Inside linebackers, Garrett Garcia, Dominic Fedorov. Outside, Jack Biermas and Gavin Krebs. The corners are Kyle Chrisman and Jake Hoy. The safety, returning starter from a year ago, Loudon Murphy. Berwick, first play from scrimmage of the season from the 20-yard line. A fake to Tyler Winter and the keep off the right side by the quarterback Ethan Lear, and he'll pick up about 2 to the 22.
Not a bad runner, 162 yards rushing last year. They like that little quarterback option. Put it in the halfback's belly, pull it out, take it the other way. They'll get a couple of yards.
2nd and 8. Bulldogs as they move from our right to our left. 3 receivers to the left out of the gun. Ethan Lear gives the ball to Winter, and Winter off the right side is brought down by Isaac Carter, but not before he gets over the 25 to about the 27-yard line.
Low snap into shotgun. Quarterback Lear had to pick it up off the ground and then hand it off at knee height before being able to convert on that successful run. Carter on the tackle, picked the body up and put it down on the ground, showing great strength.
3rd down and 4. Bulldogs. Trips to the left, wide receiver right. Lear has the shotgun snap. He rolls left. Big pass rush, and it will be incomplete. He was hit just as he got it off, and that is Isaac Carter. And again, Isaac Carter last year was on the soccer team, did not play for the football team other than kicking until the postseason. This season, he's doing both full-time, and he immediately had an impact on that first series.
And last year in the playoffs, he played, but he did it with very minimal coaching, Jim. Now he has a whole preseason under his belt.
Luke Peters with the punt. It's a low-line drive that goes over midfield and out of bounds. Southern Columbia will have good field position for their second possession. 7:49 to go in the opening quarter, and Berwick trailing this one by a score of 7-0.
Strong defensive play. Again, some of those standouts we've mentioned, Isaac Carter in particular, showing his talents in that initial stop of Berwick's offense. They have a stoppage on the field for heat.
Might be. No timeout is called.
It's overly humid, Jim. People weren't expecting that this morning. Berwick's defense not getting water. They're just standing out there if this is for heat. I don't think it's an injury of any sort. The officials congregating.
Andy, while we have time, no major changes in rules for this year's high school football season, but there's one that may have an effect.
Yeah, a little bit on how they're stepping off penalties where there's either a big loss or a big gain on the play. If there's a big loss on a sack and there's been a hold in there, they're not going to march 10 yards from the point of the hold and set someone back at 2nd or 1st and 25. they're going to mark it from the line of scrimmage. Same on short runs. They're going to try to mark them from the line of scrimmage. If it's deeper downfield, like a 20-yard run and the hole's at 17, then they'll go back to the old system.
1st and 10, Southern Columbia at their own 46-yard line. Wing to either side, back to throw, Blake Wise. Looking. Now he throws it up for grabs and just off the fingertips of Kyle Chrisman. Not a good throw. Chrisman, though, did a good effort to come back and get a hand on it.
It was a little bit of a stop-and-go pattern, and the corner just did not bite on that at all. Berwick stayed put. In fact, stayed too deep, did Caleb May. Eventually, the receiver broke off the pattern, came to the sideline. They could have floated it into him, but instead a little bit too far out of bounds and incomplete.
2nd down and 10. We were told that Southern Columbia would throw more than they did a year ago. We've already seen a couple of 1st down passes. Backs in an open set. Murphy in motion to the right. Toss sweep left side. Turn the corner. Carter Madden. Strong run over midfield to the 46-yard line. Ty Wilkerson comes up and makes a hit on Carter Madden.
Jack, yeah, they're really coming up and putting that shoulder in, as you mentioned, Jim. Ty Wilkerson taking on the challenge. And the running back also getting hit hard. I'll call it about a 5-yard gain on that run for Carter Madden.
3rd down call coming. The ball at the Berwick 49-yard line. Backs in an open set. The call goes to Murphy off the right side. And blockers out front. Gets the Berwick 34-yard line.
Jimmy, it's too easy. Berwick needs to toughen up at the line of scrimmage and fill some gaps. He's strolling through the hole, looking whether he wants to go left, right, or accelerate straight ahead. And Berwick's got to tighten that defensively. That was just easy gains.
Beautiful patience that time by Loudon Murphy. He got behind a blocker, slowed down a bit, let him gain 13 yards on the play from the Berwick 36-yard line. Wise back to throw, fires a middle, diving attempt incomplete. Pass intended for Jake Hoy, a little beyond his reach.
Slant pattern. The corners are playing off. They recognize there can be mismatches, whether it's the speed of Chrisman or the height of Hoy. Hoy this time spread out in individual coverage, very wide, and as he slants, he's going to be open. But I always felt slant patterns were difficult timing patterns in high school football, and they just didn't connect there.
2nd and 10 from the Berwick 36-yard line. Murphy in motion from a wing left. The call goes straight ahead to Garrett Garcia, and he's got good running yardage to the 24-yard line.
Caleb May eventually bringing him down, but in the secondary, Jim, a missed tackle and at the linebacker range. I know he's a load. He's 215 pounds, 6'1", and running like a diesel. But you got to make the hit and make the stop. That's what high school football's all about. Toughen up, strap that helmet on, and make the play.
Clock running, 6:09 to go, opening quarter. Southern Columbia with a 7-0 lead. Tigers 1st down at the Bulldog 24-yard line. Backs in an open set. Wise gives to Carter Madden off the left. Some nice blocking, and he gets down to about the 15-yard line. Again, the big question mark for Southern Columbia offensively is the offensive front. Boy, in the early going, they look terrific.
They really do. They're coming off. In fact, the play had to be made from the backside. And it was a great hustle play on the part of Harrison Snyder. In this 52 look, he's the outside linebacker defensive end, and he came all the way across the field to make the tackle.
8 yards on the carry. 2nd and 2 from the 16-yard line. Garcia gets the call, has the 1st down, then some, to the 10, to the 5, and into the end zone for the touchdown. Garrett Garcia from 16 yards out.
Give him 106 on the game with that carry, but again, he's not really meeting resistance. Southern's offensive line is shooting off the ball, getting a double team at the point of attack. One-on-one, they're holding their blocks. People in tag football aren't going to stop him for the first 5, 7, 8 yards, let alone tackle him once he gets that steam going.
Extra point attempt by Isaac Carter. Low snap. Murphy able to get it down on the hold, and the kick is up and good. Time on the field. 5:17 to go, opening quarter. Southern Columbia 14. Berwick nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs Football on Pop Radio.
It won't be long before tax time rolls around, so remember to visit Michael Daddio CPA at ND Accounting and Consulting for your income tax needs. ND Accounting and Consulting handles both business and individual taxes, as well as offering a variety of accounting services, including payroll, auditing, and bookkeeping. For tax and accounting services, look for Michael Daddio CPA at ND Accounting and Consulting with 2 locations, 214 Pine Street in Berwick and 5929 Main Road in Sweet Valley.
This is Berwick football coach Mike Bennett. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
2 possessions, 2 touchdowns for Southern Columbia, both on the ground from fullback Garrett Garcia. Drives of 87 and 56 yards. 5:17 remaining, opening quarter. Southern Columbia 14, Berwick nothing. Gavin Galusha, Tyler Winter deep, anticipating the kickoff from Isaac Carter, hoping for an opportunity at a return. He had a touchback, the last kick. That gives him 7 in 2 games against Berwick.
Kicks from the left hash, pushing that ball on the tee like it really matters. Kickers have all of those little superstitions and protocols they like to make somebody hold it, Jim. There's no wind. And that's what they're going to bring on Colton Bloom to hold it as he gets ready to kick this off.
Isaac Carter, senior kicker and defensive tackle. You don't get that combination often. Line drive kick, and it will be fielded at the 2-yard line by Galusha. Gavin Galusha on the return out to the 17-yard line.
Braden Andrews, first man down, able to trip him up, throws the arm out, ropes him down by the knees. A great hustle by Braden Andrews, 5'7", 155-pound 10th grader, showing what he has.
Among the many things that Southern Columbia does well, you don't hear much said about this, they cover kicks extremely well. So in the rare times that Carter doesn't get the end zone, they still have terrific coverage. When I gave you the starting lineup defensively for the Tigers, I gave you Jack Biermaus as an outside linebacker. Actually, it's Nate Gallagher, number 22. He is a 6'2", 180-pound sophomore. 1st and 10. Berwick from their 17-yard line. The give is to Winter. Tyler Winter ahead for maybe a yard on the play. I'll tell you one new innovation in high school football that we saw late in the season at Hazelton area, and we're seeing here tonight. The yard marker across the way is lit up.
Oh, it's nice.
It says 2nd down, and you can see it from anywhere. That's a great addition.
I love it, Jim. And facing the press box as it should be. We've seen it at the collegiate level. Yard markers you can't even see.
2nd and 9. Berwick from their 18-yard line. 5 wide receivers. Empty backfield for Lear. He's going to take it on a quarterback keeper and get over the 20 out to the 22-yard line.
Yeah, we're seeing the hustle there by Garrett Garcia from his inside linebacker position, meeting the outside linebacker at the quarterback after about a 4-yard gain. Good read on the quarterback draw.
So Berwick 3rd and 5. The Bulldogs have not slowed down the Southern Columbia offense. They'd like to have them sitting for a while. To do that, they need a conversion here. Ethan Lear out of the gun. Berwick, Southern Columbia showing blitz. Lear rolls to his left, keeps the football, breaks through, and gets the first down to 30. Nice job, Ethan Lear.
Hand came up and touched the face mask. I was looking to see if the linesman was going to throw the flag, but he kept it in his pocket. They get the first down either way. Jim, I think he saw the blitz coming and in his mind changed the play without calling an audible. Turned it into a quarterback sweep off the left side. Good running on his part, got that.
Berwick's initial first down of this game. They have it at their own 29-yard line. Lear out of the pistol. Winter behind him. Slot to the right side. Wide receiver left. Lear gives the ball to Winter. Trying the right side. And he is brought down for a loss of the play. So hard to go east and west against Southern Columbia.
They really are good. I'm assuming it's the outside linebacker and running down that number. It is Gavin Krebs. Now, played all last year, 61 tackles. You know, you have the feature players on this team, the name players, but boy, he's solid. He helped on the tackle 2 plays ago when the quarterback did a draw. This time he's not fooled at all on the run coming straight up.
Loss of a yard, 2nd and 11. Berwick from their 28. Lear gives to Winter again, and not much. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage, the 29-yard line, as he goes off the left side.
Southern keeps a 4-4 defense. There's 8 men very close to the line of scrimmage. And Berwick with the offensive front, unless you go double tight ends, you're not going to be able to block everybody. And it just seems that the people who aren't being blocked are reading very quickly, collapsing down inside and making the play. Colton Bloom, I believe it was that time.
3rd and 10. Dogs from their 29. Lear out of the gun, has the snap, back to throw. Hit as he gets it away, and flag down on the play. This looks like it'll go against Berwick as the pass intended for Tyler Winter.
Gavin Krebs had the receiver run into him, and that's where I would think they would call pass interference against Southern, Jim, opposite of what you spoke, but I think by what you meant. And it will be marched against Southern Columbia. I think Krebs wasn't really looking for the ball that soon. He was watching his man, and as he turned to look for the ball's up in the air, and the receiver on his route to the ball runs into him.
So it's a 15-yard penalty, and Berwick with a first down at their own 45-yard line. So we go under 2 minutes in the opening quarter. Lights starting to come on slowly. Field covered in shadows right now. Slot to the left. Lear out of the gun. Fakes handoff, keeps the football straight ahead, and gets out to the 47, maybe the 48-yard line. Ethan Lear had good rushing numbers for only 20 attempts a year ago. And he gives the Bulldogs a dimension that perhaps they didn't have a year ago. That running quarterback. Just 2 there, though. 2nd and 8 from the 47.
Running the quarterback usually involves misdirection. Put it in the belly of a runner, pull it out and run. But they ran up the middle. Dominic Fedorov just held his position, took 1 step forward, and met him a yard after the run.
2nd and 8. Bulldogs. Lear has the snap, gives to Winter, hit behind the line, loses yards to the 44. Dominic Fedorov, who led this team in tackles a year ago, gets one there, tackle for loss.
They're just so quick, Jim, whether they're reading or whether they're stunting. You know, they see what's happening, they know how to step forward, shoot through the natural gaps that are made as their defensive linemen are engaged with other blockers, and he just meets him in the backfield. He's quicker than the play.
3rd down and 11. We'll see if Southern Columbia defensive coordinator Andy Mills dials up a blitz here. Lear out of the gun, back to throw, firing downfield into traffic, and making the catch and then losing the ball is Ty Wilkerson. We'll see how they rule it. It's going to be a catch, a fumble, and a Southern Columbia recovery.
Yes, it is. There was coverage downfield by Braden Andrews, Jim, but not tight enough. The catch was made. He turned to make a run toward the goal, and at that point, he loses the football. It bounces closer to the defender, Braden Andrews, who comes up with it. He's almost able to get up with it, but he's down himself as his knee's down, and in high school football, he's down by rule.
Great play all around.
Yep.
Ty Wilkerson made a nice grab.
And a nice throw.
From the 36-yard line, Southern Columbia, their 3rd possession. 31 seconds to go, opening quarter. They lead 14-0, and flags and whistles blow this one dead. This will be illegal procedure against the Tigers.
For an opener, we had 1 delay of game penalty, Jim, and nothing else really sloppy. You know, some plays, happen, pass interferences and this and that. But often in the opener as a coach, you worry about the unforced penalties before the play is engaged. There's one there before the quarter ends.
And again, in this day and age, only 1 preseason scrimmage to work with. Tigers 1st and 15 at their 31. Wing to either side. Garcia, the fullback, play action. Wise back to throw. Looking long downfield, incomplete. Intended for the speedster, Clissman. Nice coverage by Josh Kishbaugh in the secondary for the Bulldogs.
It really was. we're seeing a little bit of Air Roth. Jimmy Roth throwing more than he has in other seasons. I think he realizes he has a veteran quarterback, and by trying the deep ball, he's going to open up things underneath in the running game. Two excellent receivers to try to get deep. Fourth pass attempt of the quarter.
Jake Hoy is wide to the left. Here's a 2nd and 15. Tigers from their 31. There's the inside reverse. Carter Madden gets the second handoff, and he's over the 35 out to the 37-yard line.
Get that linebacker to turn his number 7 to me. No, Anthony Martino normally doesn't play in that position. He is listed as a linebacker, and I think it was 7, Jim. But he caught that inside reverse after the 2 handoffs and was able to play his position well and stop it.
The end of the first quarter play. Southern Columbia 14, Berwick nothing. You're listening to Berwick Football on Pop Radio. 60 here, Julie.
This is Jonathan from Nespoli Jewelers in Berwick. We are happy to announce that once again we will have the Nespoli Jewelers Athlete of the Week throughout this football season. Each week, the Berwick coaches will choose an athlete who worked hard, was a good teammate, and put forth his best effort all week. We will announce this student athlete on this station prior to the Berwick football game, and we will be honoring him by donating $100 in his name to the charity of his choice. For more information on the chosen Nespoli Athlete of the Week, please visit us on our Instagram and Facebook pages.
Drive your new GMC home today. New vehicles have been hard to come by. So at Alexander Family Buick GMC, we've been telling you to reserve your new GMC truck or SUV. But with 25 new GMCs in stock now and 25 more to arrive soon, you don't have to reserve one. You can drive one home today. And with the highest trade values, the lowest rates, and the Blaze Alexander lowest price guaranteed, now is the time to drive one off our lot. Shop online where we're always open. Alexander Family Buick GMC in Bloomsburg. Taking the deals the other guys won't.
Proud sponsor of Penn State Athletics.
This is Berg football coach Mike Bennett. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
For the books here at Jim Roth Field in Tiger Stadium. Southern Columbia leading Berwick 14-0.
I want to go back to that double handoff, Jim. A very tough play to defend, and I had the defender wrong. I had to flip my roster. Braylon Hawkins, who's looked solid in this game, held his position, fought off a block, and he was the man who tripped up Carter Madden.
3rd and 10, Southern Columbia, moving from our right to our left in this quarter. Wise under center. Straight drop back to throw, looking to the far side, has a man wide open for first down to the Berwick 41-yard line. So Blake Wise on target. I think it's that big tight end, Jace Balakowski. Jace Balakowski, who they really like as a pass-catching tight end, makes a big play there. That was a 3rd and 10. They pick up the first down at the Berwick 41.
Really nice catch. Got himself in the open, and then after the catch, a fine run.
23 yards on the reception. 1st and 10. From the 41, Berwick showing blitz. Wise gets hit as the pass goes incomplete. So Berwick dialing up the blitz, and it pays off. Jimmy DeAndrea put the hit on Blake Wise, who barely got it away.
Roy Dennis has joined the Berwick staff after years at Berwick as a 2-time All-Stater, then a great career at Bloomsburg University. Coached around and was highly touted wherever he happened to be, especially for his defenses. He's been calling and implementing a lot of things for his team, and I'm sure he was involved in the call on that one.
2nd and 10. Southern Columbia at the Berwick 41. Garcia's the lone running back. They're coming on the blitz again. Garcia gets the call off the left side and gets to about the 35-yard line as he is brought down there.
Josh Kishbaugh coming up with the tackle, Jim. Berwick showing some life defensively now. They'd certainly like to make a 3rd down hold here. It's right in the middle of the sticks. I don't know if a 5-yard penalty gives them the first down. Southern would certainly go for it if they get anywhere close.
A big 9th grader, Nico Lonsinski, is in that lineup for Berwick right now. This 3rd down call. Murphy in motion left to right. Pitch to Carter Madden. Makes a nice move to the 30 and to the 27-yard line. Berwick got some good penetration. Looked like Madden might be hit for a loss, but he made a pretty move. Kept his feet going and picked up 9 on the play for a Southern Columbia first down.
Penetration came from the outside, but John Quinton, Southern's right tackle, stayed with him and shielded him enough. Good plant and cut up field by Murphy, as you mentioned, to earn that first down.
Matt Gordner has checked into the defensive front for Berwick, big sophomore. Southern Columbia, 1st and 10. At the Bulldog 27. Wise play action, back to throw. Looking long, has Loud Murphy inside the 10, makes a cut to the 5, and gets in the end zone for the touchdown. Blake Wise to Loud Murphy, 27 yards for the score.
Threw it up, came up short. Burris been putting a good pass rush on, but Southern's been running those people beyond the quarterback. Blake Wise steps up. You don't normally school. He's able to get it down there to Loudon Murphy, who makes the nice catch. 2 defenders are running with him, kind of run by him. He pivots to the inside and gets in for the score.
Isaac Carter, his 3rd extra point attempt. He remains perfect as he kicks it through. 9:24 to go, first half. Southern Columbia 21, Berwick nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Hi, this is Jonathan from Nespoli Jewelers in Berwick. We are happy to announce that once again we will have the Nespoli Jewelers Athlete of the Week throughout this football season. Each week, the Berwick coaches will choose an athlete who worked hard, was a good teammate, and put forth his best effort all week. We will announce this student athlete on this station prior to the Berwick football game, and we will be honoring him by donating $100 in his name to the charity of his choice. For more information on the chosen Nespoli Athlete of the Week, please visit us on our Instagram and Facebook pages.
This is Berwick football coach Mike Bennett. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
3 possessions, 3 scores for Southern Columbia. The latest, 8 plays, 64 yards. Blake Wise, first touchdown pass of the season to Loudon Murphy, who made some nice moves after making the catch. 21-0, Tigers, 9:24 remaining, opening half. Isaac Carter's kickoff is high and deep and bounces about 1 yard deep in the end zone, goes through. So 3 kickoffs for Southern Columbia's terrific kicker, 2 of them touchbacks. And Berwick will get the football. Berwick's offense showed some signs of life in that last possession. Nice plays by the quarterback, good throw and catch by Ty Wilkerson. Unfortunately, the turnover resulted in Southern Columbia taking over and putting together another touchdown drive. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs from their own 20-yard line as they move from our left to a right here in the second quarter. Wilkerson is wide to the left. Hansen is wide to the right.
Southern lining up in its traditional 4-4. 4 down linemen, 4 linebackers behind it, 3 deep in the secondary.
Lear out of the pistol. As the snap, gives it to DeAndrea. Jimmy DeAndrea off the left side, breaks through 1 tackle, but then is brought down after a gain of about 3.
Southern stands people up. Berwick's engaging. They're getting into their blocks. They can't move the Southern defenders. And then either the linebackers are shuffling in or backside. That time I believe it was Isaac Carter coming from the backside to eventually make the stop after the defense delayed it. They'll take 2-3 yards on that, though.
2nd down and 7. Berwick at their 23-yard line. Slot to the right side. Wilkerson in the slot. Hansen outside of him. Lear out of the gun. As the snap, rolls left, stops, hit as he throws it up for grabs. The ball is it intercepted or not? A scramble for the football as Lear was hit, and Southern Columbia will come away with the football.
And no one cheering, no one patting anyone on the back. So, Jim, it's your guess. I think it might be Christman who came up with it. But tough in the passing game. He completes 1, and it's fumbled away. Now he throws this one out there while under duress. Isaac Carter pushing him as he's throwing the ball. And Southern coming up, I believe, Christman with the interception.
Well, Isaac Carter has come as advertised as a defensive tackle in this game. put a lot of heat on Ethan Lear. 1st and 10, Southern Columbia at the Berwick 35. 8:35 to go in the first half. Tigers lead 21-0. Wise back to throw, big pass rush. He gets it away on the screen. It's Garcia to the 20 and down to the 19-yard line. That big freshman, Nico Lonsinski, makes the tackle for Berwick.
Back to the interception, Jim. It was Biermoss who came up with it. Southern coaches are off in the box to our right. They were able to confirm it through the headsets. The screen was low. I actually thought it bounced and was going to be called a dead ball, but he picked it up at ankle height and then was able to follow the blockers downfield for the first down.
And there is a 15-yard screen pass to Garrett Garcia. 1st and 10, Southern Columbia at the Berwick 20-yard line. Backs in an open set. Wise gives the ball to Carter Madden. He's got room, and he drags the tackler down to the 10-yard line.
Southern had such a diverse offense and so many weapons that when you finally get to touch the ball again, it's Carter Madden, and he runs like a madman. He really had an acceleration off the left side and took that for a 9-yard burst.
2nd down and 1. Southern Columbia threatening again at the Berwick 11-yard line. Jake Hoy wide to the right side. Backs in an open set.
6'4" on 5'9" over there, Jim.
The give on the play is to Garcia. Lots of running room, and he's cut down in the open field at the 5, but it will be a first down. Josh Kishbaugh coming from the Berwick secondary to make the play.
Instead of dropping his shoulder and forcing it ahead at about the 6-yard line, he decided to cut against the grain and try to avoid the tacklers. Found 2 people waiting for him there, and Berwick able to wrap him up nicely. Kishbaugh, a big part of it.
1st and goal, Southern Columbia at the 5-yard line. Carter Madden, one of the running backs, he gets the call off the left side, brought down about the 3. Nice tackle from behind. It's Harrison Snyder. Boy, he's been a terrific player for Berwick since his freshman season. Playing linebacker now rather than his usual defensive end. Holds it to a 3-yard gain, 2nd and goal from the 2.
In the new 52 look that they're using, those 2 at the outside linebackers or defensive ends kind of duplicate positions, so he can still use his talents and add to them.
Full house backfield from the 2. It's Carter Madden off the left side. Gets some good blocking and gets in for the touchdown. Carter Madden in from 2 yards out.
He'll credit his offensive line. Brayton Lunger. Again, we've been seeing an awful lot of Jude Bremigan and Dylan Stein. Pretty much wedge blocking at the point of attack, and then his final push pushes it in. Another strong run by the strong running Southern Columbia football team.
So after the interception by Biermoss, Tigers go 5 plays, 35 yards. And the snap is bobbled, and the holder takes it in for 2 points.
Loudon Murphy.
So with 6:09 to go in the first half, it's Southern Columbia 29 and Berwick nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Don't let orthopedic issues keep you from doing what you love. Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute is your orthopedic partner in Hazleton. With same-day appointments available, our team of experts treat everything from joint pain and sports injuries to orthopedic trauma. Live life fully again with Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute, located at 26 Station Circle in the Humboldt Industrial Park. Visit lvhn.org/ortho or call 833-LV-ORTHO. Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute. Your health deserves a partner.
This is Berg football coach Mike Bennett. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Southern Columbia has scored on every possession. They have not punted this opening half. 6:09 remaining in the second. And they lead Berwick by a score of 29-0 as Isaac Carter will kick it off. This one skitters along the turf. It's picked up by Tyler Winter. And his return breaks away at the 30, the 35, and it's Isaac Carter that rides him out at the 42. So a terrific effort by Tyler Winter as he broke out of a pack.
Yeah.
And were it not for the place kicker / defensive tackle, he might have gone the distance.
It was nice that he kind of ran into the pack on the right hash and then kind of spun away and out of it. The kicker often plays what they call the safety position, the last man position when you have kick coverage. And Isaac Carter, a superb athlete, saw him spin out, took the right angle of pursuit and able to push him out of bounds. Both teams getting a little water at this point, Jim. I'm not sure if it was a called timeout or one that's just a smart timeout by the officials.
We have 5:59 to go in the opening half. I want to comment on the crowd here. It's a terrific crowd for this opening night. This is a third straight season that Southern Columbia and Berwick have faced each other in the opener. This might be the best crowd of the three. Also, I want to urge you to stick around at halftime. Henry Hynoski Jr.
Henry who?
Who has run for a few yards in this program and now is the principal at Southern Columbia High School. He will be our guest at the break, so looking forward to that. As Berwick, after the good return by Winter, 1st and 10 at their 42-yard line. Southern Columbia showing blitz. DeAndrea gets the call, tries to sweep the left side, gets outside, down the corner, 45, 40, 30, still on his feet, 20, 15, 10, 5. Are they saying he was out?
They're saying a flag about 15 yards into the run, Jim. I was impressed by how well it was well blocked. He had to bubble it back and use his speed, and he got past Carter, who was in the backfield. But then blocking on the corner was good. But downfield, about 10, 15 yards, the penalty flag comes out with a block from behind. Don't know how much he needed it. Would have been a nice run at 15. Nicer run for the touchdown from Berwick's point of view. Now, where do they mark this one from? It looks like it's going to be marked from the point of the hold that was near midfield and 10 yards or so from there.
Yeah, so it's 1st and 11 after the penalty, but a shame for Jimmy DeAndrea. He showed us that great speed in the scrimmage against Central Columbia and showed it again there. As faking the handoff and keeping the football as the quarterback, Ethan Lear, and a nice gain over midfield to the Southern Columbia 49.
It really is. Will they move the chains on that, or are they going to be just short? They'll call it 9.5. Nice deception, Jim. Linebackers flow with the running back. Quarterback sells the fake well, and then comes right up the middle.
2nd down and 1. Berwick at the Southern Columbia 49. Out of the pistol. Quick out to Wilkerson, and he will lose yardage. Southern Columbia read it beautifully. Quick out to the speedster Ty Wilkerson, and he had no chance.
Looking at the two people who weren't in on the tackle, Kyle Chrisman's one of them, Loudon Murphy, two people in the secondary. Everyone else eventually rallying to the football, making a hit, making a touch. Is Wilkerson down now, Jim?
He is. They're going to check on him. If you had to award that tackle to anybody, it would be Garrett Garcia. You know, he was their leading tackler and was an all-state performer in both his freshman and sophomore years and was well on his way to breaking the school record for tackles, that record held by Cal Halliday, who's having a terrific career at Michigan State. But obviously missing what amounted to almost an entire season last year will hurt that regard, as the concern now for Ty Wilkerson. I'm surprised, as hot and humid as it is, that we haven't seen some of the things you see as far as cramps on the opening night of the season. I don't think that's what this is.
Teams condition well, Jim. Players run all summer, try to keep themselves in shape. You have the heat conditioning prior to the first scrim. Now, he just caught that ball 2 yards behind. I was surprised they didn't try a power play or a quarterback sneak, but they wanted to finesse. He's up and walking off the field under his own power, so I think he may have cramped up after the tackle. But as you mentioned, Southern read it well. Linebackers are there. Corners are there. Linemen are there. In fact, like I said, there were 9 people touched him on the course of that, and it wasn't what we'd call a violent hit. but just the point of everyone getting to the football.
3rd down and 3 following the injury timeout. Berwick with the ball at their own 48-yard line.
Bit of a long 3 as well. Quarterback runs an option here, or try to throw it. Andy Mills, defensive coordinator, coached with me at Southern Columbia, Jim, now in his 45th year. Likes to dial up the linebacker blitzes. Will he come with the outside linebackers, the inside linebackers? Which way will he send them in?
3 receivers to the left. Tyler Winter to the left of Ethan Lear. And problem with the snap, Lear will have to go back and grab it, and they'll lose yardage back to the 40-yard line.
I don't even know what happened with the football, Jim. I'd lost it along the way. It was on the ground behind the center, and then it got kicked to where the quarterback had to chase it down. He was the only one who had seen it. And with that loss of about 9 yards, it will force a punt.
Loudon Murphy, the lone Tiger back.
Very
deep. The veteran Luke Peters will kick it away. Ethan Lear with a perfect snap. Left-footed kicker gets it away. Comes up short but takes a nice bounce where the Bulldogs are concerned. And will roll dead at the Southern Columbia 23-yard line. So the Tigers have scored on every possession. And now they have 3 minutes and 43 seconds to keep that streak going. They lead Berwick here in the second quarter, 29-0.
Of course, a score would put this into the mercy rule, Jim. It's an impressive feat if you can mercy rule someone by halftime, especially a program that has the legacy that Berwick happens to have.
Kyle Chrisman is wide to the right side. A wing to either side. Berwick showing blitz. Southern beats it. The pass is complete, but for yardage only out to about the 25-yard line.
Trying to catch the number 2, I believe, Jim. Carter Madden somehow flanked out wide. We'll get a 2-yard catch on the hitch.
So it's 2nd down and 8. Southern Columbia at their 25-yard line.
Of course, the hopes on a hitch play like that is if they're playing off, throw him the ball and hope he can then break tackles and run with it. But well defended by Berwick.
Wing to either side. Garcia, the fullback. Garrett Garcia gets the call. Good blocking up front, but he loses the football. Scramble is on inside the 30-yard line. And we'll see when they unpile.
Still no showing. Official show Berwick has the football, Jim.
So the first turnover of the game by Southern Columbia, and Berwick with a great opportunity with 3:01 to go in this half, as they will take over at their own 28-yard line.
Landon Koch came back on the ball toward the linebacker position from his defensive line and put a hit near the knees of the ball carrier. That may have knocked the ball loose. Who fought for it at the end and got it for Berwick, I'm not sure. Maybe I'll check with their coaches.
1st and 10. Berwick at the Tiger 28-yard line. Bulldogs trying to get on the board with 3:05 to go in this half. They are their full complement of timeouts remaining. Ty Wilkerson, injured earlier, is back in there. He's one of 3 receivers to the left. As Ethan Lear will operate out of the gun with Tyler Winter to his left. Officials just now setting the ball down. Gavin Jones is the center. Back to throw. Leary's hit as he gets it away. It's incomplete.
Live. It's live,
It is
Jimmy.
live, and Southern Clemens going to go for a touchdown. The ball was thrown behind, and the Tigers get a touchdown.
Is 28 a live number on that defense? I'm trying to see without my binoculars fogging up. Is that Loudon Murphy? Yes, it is, Jim. Berwick got trips on the left side. It's the short side of the field. They swung the man, bananaed him back, who's behind the quarterback and shotgun to begin with. His pass, because of some of the pressure on the quarterback, went a little bit backwards. It may have been touched by the receiver. But it's construed as a lateral. I'd have ruled it as a lateral. I'm thinking that up here as a coach. Loudon Murphy did not give up on the play, scooped it up, sprinted down the sideline, ran and impeded, and puts this into the mercy rule.
Southern Columbia's defense really gets after the quarterback, and they can do it primarily with their front four, which is a big luxury. The kick by Carter is up and good. 2:51 to go in the opening half. Southern Columbia 36, Berwick nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Mason's Monogramming has the largest selection of Bulldog items in Berwick. Family owned with more than 30 years experience and new Bulldog wear for every age, including masks, tees, polos, sweater shirts, jackets, and hats. They even have brand new indestructible silicone cups, koozies, car coasters, decals, and more. Shop at masonsmonogram.com for their new items and select in-person pickup or shipping right to you. Follow their Instagram at Mason's Monogram for their latest new items. Mason's Monogram service in Berwick. Let them personalize for you.
The home of the Berwick Bulldogs. This is W234BH Berwick at 94.7. WBWX W242CY Berwick at 96.3. W282CO Bloomsburg at 104.3. W288CF Danville at 105.5. And streaming online at thisispopradio.com. Pop Radio, a Seven Mountains Media radio station.
Isaac Carter will kick it off. His kick very, very high and will go a couple yards deep in the end zone. Another touchback for him. But again, a real turnaround of the game. Southern Columbia had their first turnover. Garrett Garcia's fumble recovered by the Bulldogs, who had it at the Southern Columbia 28-yard line. But Ethan Lear was hit hard. His pass to the sideline went backwards. Loud Murphy picked it up, went 65 yards for the score. And with 2:51 to go in the half, we are in the mercy rule mode, or will be, if Berwick not able to score in this last drive. 36-0 is the Southern Columbia advantage. Murphy very alert there. A lot of people would take that for granted.
I think the play-by-play guy gave up on it. No, it's almost automatic. You see it as a pass, you see it fall incomplete. But the coaches and very sharp players, Jim, like Loud and Murphy, played it right through.
Tyler Winter gets the call, and he has some running room. Out to the 24-yard line, second down and 6. Going to see a lot of Tyler Winter carrying the football for the Bulldogs this season. He was a backup last season, 30 carries. He'll get a lot more than that. He's a scat back, just 5'7", 165, but he runs hard.
And scat backs, Jim, and a Singleton, if you can get that seam and break through that seam, you can make it go. He has the speed.
Second down call coming. The fake to Winter. The keep by Ethan Lear. Spins out to about the 28-yard line.
Landon Koch on the tackle coming down, Jim. Lear looks good. He puts it in the belly of the running back, and Tyler Winter pulls it out, takes it up the middle on that a new wave option that they run. But Landon Koch, coming from the backside, saw it, came down on it.
Ethan Lear's been under duress for much of this half. Southern Columbia really gets after the quarterback. Let's see how they play it on 3rd and 3 out of the pistol. Winter the call, looking for the first down yardage. He's knocked back very close. We'll see how much they give him. And he does pick up the first down. Strong run by Tyler Winter. He was hit hard.
He was. Garrett Garcia met him near the line to gain. Had him in a perfect form tackle. And then another man wrapped him back. But the forward progress of the run earns Tyler Winter that first down.
1st and 10, 1:22 to go in the half. Berwick with all 3 timeouts remaining. Winter again the call, tries the right side and gets a couple to about the 33-yard line.
Berwick getting engaged in their blocks on the right side, but Southern standing stout, not giving ground. You're not going to move them out of there. So stalemates force Tyler Winter to try to take it wide, and eventually the pursuit catches up with him after a short gain.
We're under a minute now to go in this opening half. Berwick facing a second down and 8 at their own 33-yard line. Lear gives the ball to Tyler Winter, tries the left side, and will not get to the line of scrimmage. Terrific tackle on that far side.
Yeah, linebackers firing through Jim Garrett Garcia. They're schooled to shuffle, and then when you see the natural opening, fire through it. And you fire through it, and you can meet that back into backfield. Just outstanding read and react play by Garrett Garcia. Stellar inside linebacker.
3rd and 9, Berwick, with the clock winding down. They may not have to run another play, and it appears that they won't. That is the end of the first half. The score, Southern Columbia 36, Berwick nothing. Back with our special halftime guest. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
It's the Season of Discovery sales event all month long at W&L Mazda.
Discover the exhilarating power and stunning design of the all-new Mazda CX-90, just in time for back-to-school season.
Plus, all this month, W&L is offering financing rates as low as 4.9% for 60 months on select Mazda CX-5 and CX-90s.
We're off Route 11 in Northumberland and online at WNLMazda.com.
Financing offer valid for well-qualified applicants only on Mazda CX-5 and Mazda CX-90 models. Offer ends 8/31/23.
Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas of Berwick. The roofing experts for all of our listening area. With over 30 years experience and great rates, why go anywhere else when Red's Roofing will get the job done right for your roofing, decks, and siding. Specializing in metal roofs, rubber roofs, and shingles. Most of the work is done in one day. Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas. Now located in Dushore and also serving Bradford and Sullivan counties with owner Harry Titus, a supporter of the Berwick football team and St. Jude Children's Hospital. Call 570-752-4351.
Planning your next big event? Weddings, concerts, church festivals, even construction sites. Preferred Portables has you covered. Preferred Portables offers a luxury restroom trailer that even has hot water. No power? No problem. They can provide a generator to keep the lights on. They even provide sanitary service to campgrounds, parks, parties, and have 24-hour emergency service. Contact Preferred Portables to learn about events and contractor pricing. Check out their website, preferredportables.com. We're number one when you have to go number two.
Hi, this is Cassidy from the Independence Ford Service Department, Route 11 in Bloomsburg. Does your Ford or Lincoln vehicle need service? Having trouble getting an appointment at your usual service center? At Independence Ford, we can and will take care of all your service needs. Regardless of where you purchase your Ford or Lincoln vehicle, our goal is to get you back on the road. Give me a call for an appointment today at 784-1414.
Come and get a great deal and total satisfaction.
Independence Ford, better people, better prices.
This is Berwick football coach Mike Bennett. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Halftime from Jim Roth Field at Southern Columbia High School. The Tigers dominating Berwick by a score of 36-0 at the break. Our halftime guest is a 3-time All-Stater here at Southern Columbia. In fact, the player of the year in the state in 2006. Played on 4 state championship teams, went on to Pitt, and then the NFL's New York Giants, where he played 4 seasons, and was the starting fullback when the Giants won the Super Bowl in 2012. For the past 5 seasons, he's been working for the Shamokin School District and served as their head football coach. Now he's very, very early into his brand new job, principal at Southern Columbia High School. Henry, welcome very early in your tenure. How's it going so far?
Oh, it's been amazing. This is a dream come true for me, to be back in my home district, the school that I graduated from, and the district that I live in, and a community that I just absolutely love and adore. This was always an end goal for me, and I'm just so honored and happy to be here.
Well, let's squash all the conspiracy theories that think this was a football move. It was not.
It was not a football move, and after talking with Coach Roth, I don't think he has any intentions of leaving for the next 10 to 15 years. So, no, I came here to be a principal and have a positive effect on the entire school district and my community that I love so much. So, I couldn't ask for more than that.
And you've done enough academically that you've qualified to be a principal anywhere, but this makes it something special, doesn't it?
It really does. Yeah, it really is special. It just it came full circle for me. Everything started my career in Southern Columbia. I have so many fun here, and I'm going to be here till the day I retire. So I'm just looking forward to the experience and being back involved with my home community.
You miss coaching?
I do miss coaching a little bit, but honestly, I miss playing more. So I would rather get my gear together and suit up here at halftime and get out in the field and play. But honestly, I'm going to have a greater impact being a principal in this school district than a coach.
Well, next Friday, your former team, they coached the last 5 seasons, Shamokin, will be here at Jim Roth Field in Tiger Stadium. What can you tell Southern Columbia fans about them?
Shamokin's always going to have tough, gritty kids. I know there's some new players that came out for the squad this year. Some tremendous athletes on the perimeter. They have a real nice group of freshmen that came up. This was a group that I was excited. Season, and the future's bright down there also.
And who has succeeded you as head coach? Head coaching experience, right?
Yes, he was. Well, he coached at Mount Carmel as an offensive coordinator prior, and he was the head coach at Lewisburg for 4 or 5 seasons. And then when he left Lewisburg, I brought him on my staff last year, and he was a tremendous asset to me.
We're at halftime of the Bulldogs season opener. Great for you, Henry, at this school. Any favorite?
Oh, man. Honestly, every game, I think I have every play of every game etched in my mind. That's how... I'm sure as I get older, the specifics of every game and every play.
Sixth, 2004, at Selinsgrove, a state playoff game. Henry rushed for 406 yards and 6 touchdowns. The team ran for over 700. You scored 76 points, and yet it was never a mercy rule game, which made it amazing.
No, leading up to that game, we knew that they had some tremendous athletes on that side of the ball. They were making plays all over the field. It was we'd score, they'd score, we'd score, they'd score. Eventually, we just wore them down, and that's what we did to teams. When it got to the point when push came to shove, we relied on the run game and just eventually just beat them up, and like we did pretty much everybody those years, and that's what took over, and that's what got us the victory.
That's probably not Andy Mills' favorite Southern Columbia memory.
No, but I
47 points for the opposition.
I bet if you asked the guy who was calling the offensive plays, Coach Roth, though, I don't think it was pretty fun.
Well, after Henry had his great career here at Southern Columbia, went on to Pitt, very successful career there, and then came draft day for the NFL, and people were telling you that you were going to get drafted, and that was the word. In fact, I was at a watering hole in Bloomsburg, and every time they went through the draft, there would be a graphic, and it was Mel Kiper's 10 best players remaining who haven't been drafted yet, and you were always on that list for like an hour, and it just never happened. How big a disappointment was that, if it was?
It was a disappointment. I felt sorry for myself for a couple days afterwards. I still thought I would have got drafted. The whole combine experience, a lot of people, maybe they're not aware, but I got hurt at the combine. I tore my hamstring muscle, my first 40-yard dash. Wasn't able to work out. Wasn't able to do pro days. Wasn't able to do individual workouts for any of the NFL teams that were interested. And eventually it led me to not being drafted. But after my playing career with the Giants, I was doing scouting. I was in the pro personnel department, and now I understand why. I get it. There's a large investment to be made with these players, and I was labeled as an injury risk, so I understand that. But I had my opportunity, and I ran with it when it came.
And I guess if there's any advantage to not being drafted, it's that you then can pick the team that you go to, one that fits your skill set, and the Giants were it.
Yep, absolutely. And the Giants were always my top choice leading up to the free agency. People also forget that was the year of the NFL lockout, so I couldn't sign immediately after the draft. I had to wait for months and months and months until the lockout was over, so all I did was train and work hard and get more and more angry. And, I think it worked out for me. But interestingly enough, it came down to when I was taking calls, the Giants, the Baltimore Ravens, and the Seattle Seahawks. So in that order, I would have gotten a Super Bowl somewhere within the first 3 years if I would have chose one of those other teams. But I'm glad I chose New York. The memories I built out there, the relationships I built, and I met my wife in New York, and now I have 2 beautiful children. So, I couldn't ask for anything more. I made the right decision.
Henry, you're not wearing a Super Bowl ring. 2 questions. Oh, are you?
No. That's
your wedding ring.
That's my wedding ring. That's what's most important. So.
2 questions.
Yes.
Where is it, and when do you wear it?
Well, it's at home in my safe right now, and I haven't worn it in a long time. Maybe I'm lucky if I wear it once a year. I wore it the first time to my friend's wedding that I was a groomsman in from college after I got the ring, and it was an outdoor wedding, and we're dancing, having a good time. It was 105 degrees outside, so I'm dancing. I did one of these turns. The ring flew off my finger. And it landed on, it was like a cobblestone dance floor as it was outside. And I'm not saying, I'm being serious when I say it's the music stopped, everybody gasped, and then I picked it up and I said, it's okay. And the whole place started cheering and went nuts. So, and then a couple hours later, I was loose with it and, we're having a good time, and I let people borrow the ring, and a couple hours later, somebody came up to me and said, hey, I think this belongs to you. So I forgot I even had it on my hand, so I said, geez, I better be careful here moving forward. So,
well, you must be so appreciative, because and I know, and Andy knows, that the vast majority of people that play in the NFL for any amount of time don't have Super Bowl rings.
Yes, yep. No, I've been fortunate, I've been blessed, and I just would like to think that that's due to hard work and perseverance, and the icing on the cake was winning the Super Bowl in Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. That's where the combine was, where I got hurt. That's where I watched my NFL dreams dwindle away, and there I was less than a year later winning a Super Bowl on that same field.
Great story, and Southern Columbia is so fortunate to have you back. Best of luck with that principal's position, and we'll see you down the line.
Thank you, Jim. It's been a pleasure.
Henry Hajnowski Jr., our guest here at halftime, with Southern Columbia leading Berwick by a score of 36-0. We'll take a look at halftime stats when we return. You're listening to Berwick Football on Pop Radio.
It's a Season of Discovery sales event all month long at W&L Mazda.
Discover the exhilarating power and stunning design of the all-new Mazda CX-90, just in time for back-to-school season.
Plus, all this month, W&L is offering financing rates as low as 4.9% for 60 months on select Mazda CX-5 and CX-90s.
We're off Route 11 in Northumberland and online at WNLMazda.com.
Financing offer valid for well-qualified applicants only on Mazda CX-5 and Mazda CX-90 models. Offer ends 8/31/23.
Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas of Berwick. The roofing experts for all of our listening area. With over 30 years experience and great rates, why go anywhere else when Red's Roofing will get the job done right for your roofing, decks, and siding. Specializing in metal roofs, rubber roofs, and shingles. Most of the work is done in one day. Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas. Now located in Dushore and also serving Bradford and Sullivan counties with owner Harry Titus, a supporter of the Berwick football team and St. Jude Children's Hospital. Call 570-752-4351.
Hi, this is Jonathan from Nespoli Jewelers in Berwick. We are happy to announce that once again we will have the Nespoli Jewelers Athlete of the Week throughout this football season. Each week, the Berwick coaches will choose an athlete who worked hard, was a good teammate, and put forth his best effort all week. We will announce this student athlete on this station prior to the Berwick football game, and we will be honoring him by donating $100 in his name to the charity of his choice. For more information on the chosen Nespoli Athlete of the Week, please visit us on our Instagram and Facebook pages.
Drive your new GMC home today. New vehicles have been hard to come by. So at Alexander Family Buick GMC, we've been telling you to reserve your new GMC truck or SUV. But with 25 new GMCs in stock now and 25 more to arrive soon, you don't have to reserve one. You can drive one home today. And with the highest trade values, the lowest rates, and the Blaze Alexander lowest price guaranteed, now is the time to drive one off our lot. Shop online where we're always open. Alexander Family Buick GMC in Bloomsburg. Taking the deals the other guys won't.
Proud sponsor of Penn State Athletics.
This is Berwick football coach Mike Bennett. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Halftime from Jim Roth Field in Southern Columbia area. Tigers, the 6-time defending state champions, looking like it tonight. Leading Berwick at the break 36-0. For an update on other scores in this opening night of the 2023 season, let's go back to the studios of Pop Radio and Julie Lewis.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jim and Andy. Yeah, as I'm looking down my list here, Danville is ahead of Bloomsburg 35-0 in the second. Crestwood ahead of Valley View 14-7 at halftime. Hazelton and Pittston, looks like that they're tied in the second. Wyoming Valley is ahead of North Pocono 7-0 in the second. Wyoming area is ahead of Tunkhannock 7-0 also in the second. Wilkes-Barre is ahead of Scranton 21-14 in the second. State College ahead of Williamsport 35-10 in the second. Mount Carmel, Schuylkill, North Schuylkill, looks like we're tied 13-13 at the half. Selinas Grove is ahead of Delaware Valley 7-6 in the second. Shikellamy, Central Columbia, they're tied 7-7 at half. Jersey Shore ahead of Pottsville 32-7 also at half. Shamokin, Poland late, they're ahead of Lewisburg 7-6 in the second. South Williamsport ahead of Milton 7-0 at half. Montoursville is ahead of Wellsboro 28-0 also at half. Berks Catholic is ahead of Loyalstock 14-13 at half. Mifflinburg is ahead of Midwest 20-0 in the second. And Shenandoah Valley is ahead of Columbia Montour Votech 21-12 in the second. And that's all I got for now, so I guess we'll head back to Tiger Stadium with Jim Doyle and Andy Ulickney.
Okay, thank you very much, Julie. We'll check with you in the post-game show for updates on those scores in this opening night. Southern Columbia, tough night for the Bulldogs. 36-0. Stats from that opening half, Andy Ulickney.
Well, they're lopsided as expected, Jim. Southern with 260 yards in total offense. Berwick with 49. So 5 times the amount of offense for Southern Columbia. Southern, the split is 174 on the ground, 86 in the air. Loudon Murphy with 32 yards on 4 carries. Carter Madden 6 carries for 31 and a touchdown. Garrett Garcia leading the way in the rushing department. I have him with 111 on 7 carries. Quarterback Blake Wise, 4 of 9 for 86 yards. Jake Coy has a 23-yard catch. Loudon Murphy a 27-yard touchdown catch. Carter Madden got a 2-yard hitch, and I have Garrett Garcia with 2 catches for 34, so make that 5 of 9 for 86 yards for Blake Wise. Total of 2-6 for running sink. Of course, Berwick is going against Southern's defense, and they're just tough. Tyler Winter's been trying very, very hard to find the seam and find an opening. 9 carries in all for him for 11 yards. Jimmy D'Angelo has 1 tote for 3. The team on a bad snap that was kicked back lost 9 yards. And Ethan Lear is a bit of the surprise, leading the rushers with 6 carries for 26 yards. After faking to Tyler Winter on most plays and then keeping it himself. Total of a net of 40 yards, but minus 9, so make it 31 yards on 17 carries for Berwick. In the air, just not much going on. Southern's playing tough defense, really pressuring the passer. 1 of 2, actually make that 2 of 4. 1 being fumbled away in a net of 18 yards. Ty Wilkerson had both catches, caught 1 for 20, but then dropped the ball, fumbled it away, and Southern got it. Then caught a little screen behind the line and lost 2 yards on that. So 2 for 18 for Tyler Wilkinson. Net of 18 in the passing game, net of 31. call it 49 yards for Berwick in total offense. Turnovers, Berwick's turned over 2 fumbles and an interception. Southern Columbia, I believe, has suffered 2 fumbles over the course of the game as well. We're getting ready for that second half kickoff, Jim.
Isaac Carter, who's had all but one of his kicks, reached the end zone.
That one may have reached, Jim. They caught it on the goal line, and if the man wasn't there, it probably would have gone on. So he won't blame his leg for one coming up short.
You can't overstate how big that is for a high school program. I mean, most teams aren't going to go 80 yards on a drive, particularly against the Southern Columbia defense, but against any. I mean, there's so many things that can happen along the way. If you have a kicker that can go consistently into the end zone and put that team at the 20 to start, that is a huge advantage.
You know, Jim, on the very first game when Luke Peters kicked off, he kicked off deep to the corner inside the 5. And Southern couldn't get over to get it out of there. And I thought, wow, that's a great way for Berwick to start. But Southern's offense with Garrett Garcia early, just too tough.
Berwick will be moving from our left to our right in the second half, which is underway as Carter's kick sails to Galusha, who fumbles the ball about 1 yard deep. It will be a touchback. Another one for Isaac Carter, and Berwick will get the ball at the 20-yard line. Bulldogs have had their moments offensively. Andy mentioned Ethan Lear. He's been under duress from the Southern Columbia defense, particularly the front 4. But he is an agile runner. We saw a good run by him in the first half when he saw the blitz coming and rolled to the left. What's amazing about Southern Columbia, I don't think Berwick has been awful tonight, and the score looks awful.
Yeah.
It's just what they do to you.
Southern can steamroll you and then make a mistake on a sideways pass. It turns into a very long fumble return, and boom, you're being mercy ruled.
Bulldogs, 1st and 10 at their own 20, second half underway. Slot to the left, wide receiver right. Ethan Lear awaits the shotgun snap. Fakes handoff to Winter. Keeps the football and is stuck right at the line of scrimmage as he tries the right side.
Colton Bloom played that real well. He gave a shuck to the man trying to block him, looked to the inside, saw the quarterback keeping coming his way, got low into hitting position, and just gave him nowhere to run.
93 tackles and 3 sacks a year ago for Colton Bloom. Looking for even more this season as he lines up at that defensive end position. No gain on the play. Berwick 2nd down and 10 from their own 20-yard line. Trips to the left side. Lear is rolling that way, stops, plants the feet, fires a pass incomplete. Boy, he had a man. It was Ty Wilkerson open at the 34. Wilkerson has terrific speed. He is going to be a factor in that passing game this season.
I like the strategy of rolling the quarterback out. He's been under a lot of pressure, so part of the halftime talk, make the adjustment, roll him out of the pocket to the left toward the receiver. Now, the trade-off is it's a little harder to throw while you're rolling, especially to your left where you can't set your feet.
3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Empty backfield for Lear. Has the snap, and he's going to keep it himself. Off the right side, he'll get maybe a half yard of the play, and Southern Columbia just reacts so well. Harvey Dominic Federoff among the people in on the play for the Tigers.
Yeah, he just reads it, Jim. You know, and I think they know that their halftime talk is, well, what's hurt us? Not much. But if anything hurt us, it's been the quarterback keeping the ball. Let's hold our positions for an extra count, make sure who has the ball, and then see, and then attack up, and that's what Dominic Federoff did there.
Ethan Lear will do the long snapping. Luke Peters back at the Berwick 8-yard line. Left foot's the kick away. Comes up rather short and will be downed at the Berwick 39-yard line. So just 18 yards on the punt. And Southern Columbia in great field position for their first possession of this second half. 9:40 to go in the third.
And they'll have a short field to work with, as Berwick wasn't able to generate any first downs. And then, as you mentioned, the punt coming up short. Caleb May caught that on the bounce coming back toward the Berwick team, and Probably would have gained another 10 yards for Southern Columbia if he hadn't.
C.J. Swank Dvorak is the tight end to the right side. Backs in an open set. Blake Wise is the quarterback. He gives the ball to Carter Madden, and he gets to about the 35-yard line off the left side. Josh Kishbaugh comes from the secondary to make the tackle for the Bulldogs. They'll mark it at the 34, so 5-yard pickup for Carter Madden. He's playing just one way tonight because he's recovering from an ankle injury over the summer. They kept him out of the preseason scrimmage, but he looks pretty sharp running the football.
Yes, he does. In fact, when he gets the ball after powerful acceleration, tough to bring down. Alex Estrella helping in on that tackle as well.
Jace Malachowski, the freshman, is in as the tailback spot for the Tigers. As Loud Murphy gets the call, hit behind the line, but breaks free and turns the corner and has the first down inside the 24. Great individual effort by Loud Murphy. Berwick got good penetration that time and appeared to have for a loss. Instead, it goes for a considerable gain and a first down at the 24.
Alex Estrella, who made the tackle here on the near side, now had to chase that down. After it was bubbled back, he stayed with the play and eventually saved the touchdown in my mind.
10 yards on the carry by Loud Murphy. First and 10, Southern Columbia at the Berwick 24-yard line. Crispin wide to the right, Hoy wide left. So they've got their two receivers in there. See if they go to the air from the 24. No, instead they go straight ahead to Gary Garcia, and he's defended well. He'll get about 3 to the 21-yard line.
Nice faking. That's part of the wing tee. They hand it to the fullback, but the wingback's coming in motion. They're faking to him. The quarterback continues. I'm looking for the ball, and hey, it's upfield already a few yards.
Second down and 7. Southern Columbia. Swank Dvorak comes in at the tight end position.
One man, Swank Dvorak. I met him today.
He's to the right side. Backs in an open set. Second down call. Give on the play. Murphy and nothing doing. Berwick defends it very, very well.
Yes, they did. In there, big Nico Lonzinski, Jim, able to shed the blockers, free himself, get to Loud and Murphy, and stop that for pretty much no gain.
3rd and 8. Southern Columbia at the Berwick 22-yard line. Again, this second half will move quickly as we are in the mercy rule with Southern Columbia. It's that 36-0 lead. We have 6:29 remaining here in the third. Hoy wide right. Man in motion. Carter Madden has room off the left side and is cut down quickly about the 16-yard line.
At number 7 again, Jim. Braylon Hawkins has had a solid game defensively. Not afraid to come up. I like the way Carter Madden runs. He got the ball and then with deliberation saw the hole and then really accelerated. And Braylon Hawkins came up and met him helmet to helmet.
Kyle Crispin came off limping noticeably. The speedster wide receiver for Southern Columbia. They will check on him as the Tigers face a 4th down and 3 at the Berwick 16-yard line. Call goes to Garcia off the left. He is met by Lonzinski. Second effort will get him the first down to the 13-yard line. It's just a senior against a freshman. Lonzinski's a big kid, but again, Garcia kept those legs churning and got the first down at the 13.
It almost seemed like he was getting the push, which you're allowed to do, but there's no black jerseys. He just has that much force in the legs. Lonzinski held, but he needed more help. Others came, but they still couldn't stop that momentum when he wanted the chains.
1st and 10, Southern Columbia at the 13-yard line. Swank Dvorak, the tight end on the right. Wing to either side. From the 13, Garcia again. He's dragged down as he gets to the 10, maybe the 9-yard line.
Looking at that time by Harrison Snyder, bending down on the inside, but he's too far away from the play to be able to stop it for much. Still going to be a 5-yard gain. Excellent defensive play by Harrison Snyder to get to it. But, Southern establishing themselves in the pits, getting the push forward, and the tackle has to be made from the side. We have a stoppage here, Jim?
Injury situation, the part of the Bulldogs. Last year, Harrison Snyder played primarily defensive end, and he was a force. 13 tackles for loss, 5.5 sacks, playing linebacker this season. And you have the number of the player.
I have a 66, but I don't have a 66 on my roster, Jim, so we've got a problem there. I'm not quite sure. One of the defensive linemen got caught up in the play, being helped off without much of a limp, so that's nice to see. Jim, who had the last carry for Southern?
That was Garrett Garcia.
That was Garrett Garcia? Okay.
To the 8-yard line. And again, officials being very liberal on this very hot night and letting teams take water breaks. So during that injury timeout, both teams had a chance to hydrate as Southern Columbia at the 8-yard line of Berwick facing a second down. 5 for the first down for the Tigers.
On the left hash, but with Southern's wing T, wide side, short side doesn't matter much. They can hurt you so much, inside the tackles. And then with the motion, whether it's short side or long side, or if they wanted to go double handoffs, I don't think they would here. There's just so much the wing T does. You're not allowed to attack it real quickly because you're not sure who has the ball.
Carter Madden to the right. Murphy to the left, comes in motion. Hand off to him. He's got a blocker out in front. He's down inside the 5-yard line, very close to the 1st and goal situation for Southern Columbia.
And we've been mentioning that blocker pulling throughout the night. Jude Bremachin. Been impressed with his movements. That time there were 2 people. He couldn't block both. And Berwick ends up making the stop on Murphy.
1st and goal, Southern Columbia at the 4-yard line. Bremachin, the only full-time starter back in that offensive front. That offensive front was a question mark for the Tigers coming in, and it has not been a question mark tonight.
No, it hasn't.
Full house backfield behind Wise. Hands off to Murphy, trying the right side, and good defense by the Bulldogs.
Yes, it was.
He'll get a yard, maybe 2.
Yeah, and with their backs to us, the far goal, it's hard to say who to credit. But give it good team defense there. Southern's trying to wedge it, just power it on in, going relatively vanilla. But Berwick coming up with the stop there.
And I believe we have an injury timeout down around the 4-yard line with 2:40 remaining in this third quarter. And Berwick leading by a score of 36-0.
John Quinton, the right tackle, is suffering a leg cramp. They're stretching his leg out on the field. I'm sure as soon as they're able to, they'll walk him off, hydrate him a little bit better as both teams head toward their sidelines to get a little bit more water.
Valley View will be the opponent for Berwick in the Bulldogs home opener at Crispin Field next Friday. We hope you'll join us for the broadcast of that one. Valley View locked up in a close game with Crestwood in their opener tonight. You heard the score that Julie gave us at the half, and we'll be checking with her in the post game to get the result of that one.
A lot of big games, Jim. That opener kind of breaks all the, it could be optimism for half the teams on the schedule to take that opening loss. A lot of key matchups in this opening week.
So Quinton will limp off. Got a nice round of applause from the big Southern Columbia crowd down below us. Those cramps aren't serious, but they feel serious.
Oh, they do. Oh, they do. Southern's moving a little bit to the right side of the mid-mark. Ball is right about where that 3-yard marker for the point after would be.
Second and goal. Tigers at the 3 as they move from our right to our left here in the third quarter. Again, when they get this close, it's the full house backfield. Murphy, Garcia, Madden. Carter Madden, the call off the left side and runs over a tackler and gets hit for the touchdown from 2 yards out.
Really did have to fight it, Jim. Alex Estrella came up and put the shoulder in, but the runner was able to eventually slide inside of that. He did all he could do to sort of slow things down. Not enough people coming over to help him after that. Southern gets its touchdown and adds to its big score.
You know, I eavesdropped on Jim Ross' messages to his team after the Valley View scrimmage last Saturday. He kind of called out his running backs. Said they got to go north and south better. They got to hit the holes faster. They got to run harder. They got the message.
Yeah, you know, I was talking at halftime while you were talking with Henry about a number of things, and as strong as the Southern running games looked, there are people who are going to look better. You know, there's Garrett Garcia off to 106 yards on his first 6 carries, but I'm feeling since that point he can look stronger yet. He's going to improve on these performances.
Isaac Carter with the extra point attempt. Kick is up, and the kick is good. Timeout in the field, 2:10 remaining third quarter. Southern Columbia 43, Berwick nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Hi, this is Cassidy from the Independence Ford Service Department, Route 11 in Bloomsburg. Does your Ford or Lincoln vehicle need service? Having trouble getting an appointment at your usual service center? At Independence Ford, we can and will take care of all your service needs. Regardless of where you purchase your Ford or Lincoln vehicle, our goal is to get you back on the road. Give me a call for an appointment today at 784-1414.
Come and get a great deal and total satisfaction.
Independence Ford, better people, better prices.
This is Berg football coach Mike Bennett. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Southern Columbia's first possession of the second half results in a 10-play, 39-yard scoring drive. Carter Madden from 2 yards out for the score. Isaac Carter with the extra point, 43-0. Southern Columbia. 2:10 remaining in the third. Carter's kick, low line drive, hits at the 3 and goes through the end zone. So there's been only one return by Berwick in this game, thanks to the leg of Isaac Carter. And even when he doesn't get all of it, it's a low line drive, it still gets into the end zone.
Yeah, it's kind of like get out of the way or this ball's going to hurt you. That's how hard it comes. Quite a weapon. You know, for a team that's strong in so many areas, you know, offensively, defensively, to add that weapon in your specialty team game, probably the best in the state. That's the riches.
And again, you can't overstate Isaac Carter's value to this team playing the entire season. As Berwick from their own 20-yard line, moving from our left to our right with 2 minutes to go in the third. Out of the pistol, Ethan Lear gives the ball to Tyler Winter, and he'll be brought down right about the line of scrimmage. Second down and 10. Southern Columbia has that big lead. We see a number of substitutions on the part of the Tigers. Anthony Martino, sophomore, is in the linebacker position. Check some of those other subs as play continues here in a second down.
Jake Malinowski just made that last tackle.
As a keeper by Lear, and he gets out to the 35-yard line. Ethan Lear putting up some decent numbers in the running game for Berwick in this opener.
Stretch that one out, Jim. I was fooled. I saw some movement in the backfield beyond it. My eyes were distracted, and Lear did take it very well forward.
Well, it is your first game back.
I know.
Give yourself a break.
Not quite sharp as I used to be. How many do we get there?
14 yards
14?
for Ethan Lear. First and 10 from the 34-yard line. Trips to the left side. Tyler Winter gets the call, tries the left side, looks for some room, cuts it up the middle, and will get about 3 to the 37-yard line. 2nd down and 7.
I liked his cut. It was designed to be a sweep off the left. He saw that it was going to be turned. The Tigers had it defended out on the perimeter, so he planted and went upfield and got what he could.
Slot to the left, wide receiver right. Lear to Winter. There's some running room off the left, and Tyler Winter has the first down and then some as he gets out to midfield. 13-yard burst by Tyler Winter.
Freddie Arnold eventually bringing him down, but he's breaking arm tackles along the way as he really accelerated through the middle of the Southern defense that time.
Time for perhaps one more play in this fast-moving third quarter. Berwick comes to the line of scrimmage midfield. Lear out of the gun. Quick out to Billy Hansen, and he is hit behind the line. Gets back to about the 49-yard line. And boy, that was a terrific play by Anthony Martino with the hit as the third quarter comes to an end. With the score, Southern Columbia 43, Berwick nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs Football on Pop Radio.
Looking for convenient and reliable dumpster rentals for your residential or commercial project? Eco First Logistics has you covered with dumpster rentals from Bloomsburg to Hazleton and surrounding areas. Their dumpster rental service is designed to make waste disposal easy, hassle-free, and eco-friendly. Whether you're planning a construction or renovation project, junk removal, or a major cleanup, they carry a range of dumpster sizes to fit your needs and ensure that what can be saved is sorted out. On the web at eco-firstlogistics.com or on Facebook.
Planning your next big event? Weddings, concerts, church festivals, even construction sites. Preferred Portables has you covered. Preferred Portables offers a luxury restroom trailer that even has hot water. No power? No problem. They can provide a generator to keep the lights on. They even provide sanitary service to campgrounds, parks, parties, and have 24-hour emergency service. Contact Preferred Portables to learn about event and contractor pricing. Check out their website, preferredportables.com. We're number one when you have to go number two.
This is Berwick football coach Mike Bennett. You're listening to Bulldogs Football on Pop Radio.
Jim Doyle, Andy Ligney. It's opening night here at Jim Roth Field in Southern Columbia area. 6-time defending champion Tigers leading Berwick 43-0. Berwick moving from our right to our left in the final period from their own 48-yard line. Ethan Lear gives the ball to Tyler Winter, and Winter with a good carry to the 40-yard line of Southern Columbia.
Ball was loose, Jimmy. Are they calling that a fumble and changing it around? I believe they might be. They're not being very demonstrative about it.
No, but I think that's the call.
Yeah, right at the end of the play, the ball broke loose. One man jumped on it. No one else seemed to react. I think they thought it might have been dead out the tackle, so a beautiful run by Winter. But as he's going to the ground, the ball pops loose, and Southern comes upon him.
12 yards on the carry, but Southern Columbia in possession at their own 40-yard line. Martino, the young quarterback, gives off the right side, and they carry out to about the 45-yard line as Southern Columbia has gone to the bench. This is the Braden Andrews on that carry. This is the part of the game where the play-by-play man earns his fat salary.
Yes, he does. I was going to help you with Braden Andrews, but you still beat me to it, Jimmy.
2nd down and 4. Southern Columbia at the 46-yard line. Backs in an open set. Berwick showing blitz. Call goes off the right side to gain to about the 49-yard line. It's Joey Williams who makes the carry. Williams is a freshman. They think a lot of him and his future. Seen him deep on kick returns. Now we see him with a carry to the 48-yard line of Berwick for a first down.
5'8", 165 pounds. Doesn't sound like much, but a lot of room to grow. I played at 145, Jim.
Martino under center. Gives off the left side. Gain of a couple. Jack Biermas on the carry, and Cam Gomez now in the Berwick defensive unit makes the play as the gain was to the 47-yard line. Just one. 2nd down and 9.
Play-by-play man is earning his stripes, Jim. I'm looking just to get Jack Biermas, who's carrying it. You're getting a tackler as well for Berwick.
Well, hey, you do this for 56 years, you should get it right from the 47-yard line of the Bulldogs. End around to 35 to 30. Andrews down the sideline. 20, 15, 10, 5. In for a touchdown. That's a terrific run of 47 yards.
You mentioned it end around, not a double handoff, but basically from that wing back position on the left. It's standard part of the wing tee. He's going to come over from left, take the ball from the quarterback, go to the right. And boy, he accelerated to where people just couldn't get the angle on him. And then at the end of the play, I thought he'd be pulled down somewhere inside the 10, then inside the 5. But he smelled the end zone and he wanted it.
Braden Andrews, a terrific effort. They like it. The future is now on that run. As Carter will attempt the extra point. Snap, placement. Kick is up, and the kick is good. Timeout in the field, 9:16 remaining in the game. Southern Columbia 50 and Berwick nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs Football on Pop Radio.
Don't let orthopedic issues keep you from doing what you love. Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute is your orthopedic partner in Hazleton. With same-day appointments available, our team of experts treat everything from joint pain and sports injuries to orthopedic trauma. Live life fully again with Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute, located at 26 Station Circle in the Humboldt Industrial Park. Visit lvhn.org/ortho or call 833-LV-ORTHO. Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute. Your health deserves a partner.
This is Berwick football coach Mike Bennett. You're listening to Bulldogs Football on Pop Radio.
Sophomore Braden Andrews with a brilliant 47-yard run, the latest score for Southern Columbia. As they build that big lead with 9:16 remaining. Gavin Galusha, Tyler Winter, deep for Berwick, hoping against hope that they get an opportunity for a return against this big leg of Isaac Carter.
He is quite the weapon. Left hash, he'll forward the ball about 7 steps.
Carter's kick. Fair bounces about the 3 and goes out of bounds, so it does not reach the end zone. And Berwick will take over in good field position after the penalty as the kick goes out of bounds.
You know, Berwick's had some flashes in this half where, players have looked good. Ethan Lear's had a nice run. You see a nice run out of Tyler Winter. And that's all positive. But then some of the ends of the plays, there's a fumble. And boy, you fumble the ball away to Southern Columbia, even with the seconds in, they're going to take it on in for another score. So turnovers have really been a bit of a bugaboo. I counted 2 fumbles and an interception in the first half. We have the 1 fumble at least in this half. It's plagued them quite a bit. That really tilts the scoreboard.
Yeah, you almost have to play flawless football
to keep it close.
Yes. So Berwick takes over at their own 35-yard line after the kick went out of bounds. Bulldogs moving from our right to our left in this final period. Again, home opener next week against Valley View. Southern Columbia will stay right here and take on the Indians of Shamokin. From the 35. Call goes straight ahead. Lots of running room over midfield to the 40 and down the Southern Columbia Berwick sideline inside the 30 down to about the 28-yard line. So
Tyler Winter, but he took the handoff from freshman quarterback Jake Lisnock. But a beautiful run down the right side as he's able to split the front, get by the linebackers, and then really race himself down the sideline.
39 yards on the carry by Tyler Winter. His career best to this point. As Lisnock out of the gun. Slot to the left side. Call goes to Winter. Started left, nothing there. Brought down right about the line of scrimmage as a flag falls.
Southern really surrounded him, gave him nowhere to run to the left, tried to turn it back to the right. Big Adam Barnes, 6 foot, 225-pounder, able to eventually wrap him up with help from others. I'm never a fan, Jim, of after a long run, giving it to the same back. Some coaches feel, and you often see it, you give it to him. He's hot, he's energized, he's this.
He's worn out.
I feel he's winded. I feel he's winded. Penalty's going to go against Berwick. We haven't seen that many flags, Jim. That's positive for both teams. Berwick hasn't suffered many mental miscues. Flags have hurt them. Clean football.
1st and 20. Berwick at the Southern Columbia 35-yard line. Lisdock out of the gun. Gives straight ahead and nothing doing. Southern Columbia with the subs in. That was Gavin Galusha, the freshman. They really liked his abilities as a 9th grader. Got his first carry, was roughed up there, no gain at the 35. 2nd down, call coming.
Freshman, as you mentioned, Jim, I always like to look at the sizes. 5'10", 155, but that's your freshman weight. Where are you going to be as a sophomore, junior, and senior? Projected on out. They like his athleticism. Gavin Galusha.
And both these teams have a number of freshmen and sophomores. As Berwick facing 2nd down and 10. 2nd and 20 at the Tiger 35. Lisdock fakes to Galusha, keeps the ball himself, and gets to the 31-yard line.
Lisdock's a 9th grader as well, Jim. He has the size, though. 6 foot, 205 pounds. Not real good on the faking. In fact, I'm wondering if it was a busted play before he turned up over his left guard. But not afraid to drop the shoulder and gain about 6 yards in there.
3rd and 15. Bulldogs at the Tiger 31. Clock running, 7:15 remaining in this season opener.
Would be his first pass as a high school quarterback.
He's got a slot to the right and a wide receiver left. And he rolls right and looks downfield and fires at the last moment. Incomplete, just beyond the intended receiver down at the 10-yard line.
Not a nice block in there to help him get the corner. I thought it was Caleb May sort of hanging in from the flanker position to give him the sideline to roll, give him time to throw.
Caleb May is one of those young speedsters on this team. They had a 400-meter relay team in the spring featuring Caleb May and Alex Estrella and Ty Wilkerson, and they almost set the school record, and that was with all 3 of those I just mentioned as 9th graders. So lots of speed in the youth department. Here's a 4th down call. Galusha breaks a tackle and another, but he will get just to the 24-yard line. So good effort by him, but just a 7-yard pickup. And Southern Columbia will take over the football with 6:05
It was a real nice run, though. I liked his guts going up the middle, breaking some arm tackles, and finishing strong.
So Southern Columbia bring their 2nd unit on offensively. Last time they had it, saw a brilliant 47-yard touchdown run by Braden Andrews. Now they have it at their own 24-yard line. Mentioned Berwick's home opener next week. Southern Columbia will have their 2nd straight home game to start the season, as they will take on Shamokin. You heard Shamokin's former coach, Henry Hanowski Jr., with us at halftime, telling us he likes what Shamokin has coming into this season. It'll be interesting as call goes straight ahead and nothing doing. Anthony Martino remains at the quarterback controls for the Tigers. 6'3", 165, a sophomore. Loss of 2 on the play, back to the 22, 2nd down and 12. Again, the 3 teams that beat Southern Columbia last season all should be strong again this season. So there'll be some real tests for the Tigers along the way. The call off the left side, and a nice gain out to the 35-yard line. As Caden Hopper on the carry out to the 35, so 13 yards for Hopper, a 5'11", 175-pound sophomore. And a first down for the Tigers as we go under 5 minutes remaining. Those teams I mentioned or referred to, Mount Carmel, Danville, and Loyalsock. Of those 3, Loyalsock might be the strongest, at least on paper, going in. They are just loaded coming into this season. Berwick coming with the blitz. Call off the left side, the gain out to about the 40-yard line. 5 yards to pick up. Joey Williams on the carry for the Tigers.
Yeah, he had a carry earlier straight up the middle. You couldn't even see his number. They converged on it that quickly. And that time a nice burst up the middle for about 5.
As far as the health, we can't see across the way too well with the Berwick sideline. Kyle Crispin is up and walking around. He was shaken up earlier for Southern Columbia. He is limping a bit as Martino gives off the right side. A gain for first down to the 47-yard line. Ball pops loose, but it was blown dead.
Yeah, he was down on the ground when he eventually had squirted out. I think it's Brady Arnold there with the carry. Enough to move the chains again, as Southern will keep the ball on the ground and keep it a rather vanilla offense here.
Andy mentioned earlier Andy Mills, now in his 45th season as the defensive coordinator at Southern Columbia. I counted up the total seasons of the assistants, 126. Wow. Seasons of experience on the staff. You've got people like Mike Johnston and Rick Steele, both in their 29th season. Andy Mills in his 45th. If you're looking for continuity and success that results, you have it right there. As the call straight ahead and little or no gain. Caden Hopper again with the carry for Southern Columbia.
Andy Mills started the same year I did at Southern Columbia, Jim, 1979. We were assistants with Mike Yeager on an 0-11 team that followed an 0-10 team that then my next year, Andy stuck around with me, and we went 0-10 after that. So he's seen the worst of it. He's seen the best of it.
From the 48-yard line. Call off the right side and gain over midfield to the Berwick 47-yard line.
Number 33, Gavin Brown, another freshman, if we got the number right there with the carry.
Andy Mills, one of the most pessimistic people I've ever met in my life.
No one worse.
When I talk to him, I'm convinced Southern Columbia will never get another first down. But it works. With some people, it works for him.
Yeah, as a teacher, he's always afraid of being laid off. He's been retired 8 years. He's probably still afraid of being laid off.
From the 48-yard line. Berwick showing blitz again. The blitzer doesn't get the ball carrier, but the second man through does. That's Skylar Neville, a 6'1", 175-pound sophomore for the Bulldogs. So the little or no gain on the play. It will be fourth down. Southern Columbia. Stay with us in the post game. Andy will have all the stats for you, and Julie Lentz will bring you updated on the high school football scoreboard on this opening night of the 2023 season.
I like the sound of her voice doing those scores.
She's good.
She is
good. Fourth down call coming. Backs in an open set. Call goes to Hopper off the left side. He's hit hard right about the line of scrimmage.
Good D. Too many jersey numbers to give them all credit, Jim. But boy, Berwick hasn't quit. There's about 5 or 6 white jerseys swarmed to prevent that first down.
So you try to look at this from the Bulldogs' standpoint, what you take away. I mean, it's lopsided on the scoreboard. It has been pretty much lopsided in the game, and yet I've seen some things that perhaps you can build on. You're probably not going to face a better defensive team the entire season.
No, and I don't think you're going to suffer as many turnovers, fumbles, interceptions, sideways passes that bounce the wrong way. You know, you clean that up. You have enough going with the quarterback, running back game that has a nice deception to it. You sprinkle in some successful passing. I was impressed by, how we saw the ability of Ty Wilkerson to get himself open. Billy Hansen's going to add a lot more as well. I think defensively, when you're not looking to try to figure out what's going on, the mystery of the wing T, Berwick, there's enough positives to build on.
Lisnock is the quarterback. Has the snap, rolls right, he's going to keep the football, he runs over a tackler over midfield to the 48. Andy mentioned the size of this ninth grade quarterback, and he showed that he could use that size as he lowered the shoulder there and got to the 48-yard line, picked up about 6 on the play.
A nice deft move to make the first man miss and run by him in the backfield as he scrambled.
Perhaps the final play of this game as the call goes to Gavin Galusha. He is gang tackled right about the line of scrimmage, and that will be the end of this opener. The final score, Southern Columbia 50, Berwick nothing. We'll be back with the scoring, the stats, and a look at the scoreboard. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas of Berwick. The roofing experts for all of our listening area. With over 30 years experience and great rates. Why go anywhere else when Red's Roofing will get the job done right for your roofing, decks, and siding. Specializing in metal roofs, rubber roofs, and shingles. Most of the work is done in one day. Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas. Now located in Dushore and also serving Bradford and Sullivan counties with owner Harry Titus, a supporter of the Berwick football team and St. Jude Children's Hospital. Call 570-752-4351.
Mason's Monogramming has the largest selection of Bulldog items in Berwick. Family owned with more than 30 years experience and new Bulldog wear for every age, including masks, tees, polos, sweater shirts, jackets, and hats. They even have brand new indestructible silicone cups, koozies, car coasters, decals, and more. Shop at masonsmonogram.com for their new items and select in-person pickup or shipping right to you. Follow their Instagram at Mason's Monogram for their latest new items. Mason's Monogram service in Berwick. Let them personalize for you.
The Mayo Funeral Homes, located at 110 Chestnut Street in Berwick and 77 Main Street in Chickashinny, are proud sponsors of Berwick Bulldog football. The Mayo Funeral Homes, serving all faiths, makes it easier for those you love with pre-arranged funeral counseling, insurance, and pre-financed funerals. Mayo Funeral Homes also offers expert guidance in both traditional and cremation services. Mayo Funeral Homes, perfection in every detail.
Neighbor Fence Company has fencing for where you want it, serving Columbia, Montour, and Luzerne counties. Neighbor Fence provides top-quality residential and commercial fencing, vinyl, chain link, wood, aluminum, and ornamental fencing, plus vinyl railing and specialty products. Neighbor Fence Company, 1140 State Route 239 in Wapwallopen. Call 570-752-4423 or visit them online at neighborfencecompany.com. Neighbor Fence Company is a proud sponsor of local youth athletic teams.
The home of the Berwick Bulldogs. This is W234BH Berwick at 94.7, WBWX W242CY Berwick at 96.3, W282CO Bloomsburg at 104.3, W288CF Danville at 105.5, and streaming online at thisispopradio.com. Pop Radio, a Seven Mountains Media radio station.
Southern Columbia dominant in this opener, defeating Berwick 50-0. The Tigers did not handle the opening kickoff well and ended up back at their 13-yard line. But they put together a 7-play, 87-yard scoring drive. The hero of the drive, Garrett Garcia, playing his first career game as a fullback. He had runs of 30 and 45 yards and capped the drive with a 1-yard plunge for the score. Isaac Carter with the extra point. 7-0 Tigers. 9 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Second possession for Southern Columbia. Another scoring drive. This one of 54 yards. And again, Garrett Garcia finished it with a 16-yard run. Isaac Carter again with the extra point. After one quarter, it was Southern Columbia 14, and Berwick nothing. Early in the second quarter, Berwick had a completed pass of beauty with a tight window. Ethan Lear to Ty Wilkerson. But Wilkerson, after catching the pass, fumbled the football. Braden Andrews recovered for the Tigers. And that led to an 8-play scoring drive. The touchdown coming on a 27-yard pass. Blake Wise to Loudon Murphy. Made some good moves to get into the end zone. Carter with the extra point. Tigers had a 21-0 lead over the Bulldogs. 9:24 to go in the second. Later in that second quarter, Jack Biermans with an interception at the Berwick 35-yard line. 5 plays later, Carter Madden in for the score for the Tigers. The snap was not held by Loudon Murphy, but he was alert and got into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. That made it 29-0. Southern Columbia had an opportunity, Berwick had an opportunity after recovering a fumble in Southern Columbia territory, but a lateral pass, actually back behind the line by Ethan Lear, was picked up by Loudon Murphy, who raised 65 yards for the score. Isaac Carter with the extra point. 36-0 Southern Columbia. That in from 2 yards out. With 9:16 to go in the game, extra point by Isaac Carter makes the final 50-0. We'll check other scores with Julie Lentz, and we'll check the stats with Andy Lickney. When we return, you're listening to Berwick Football on Pop Radio.
Hi, this is Jonathan from Nespoli Jewelers in Berwick. We are happy to announce that once again we will have the Nespoli Jewelers Athlete of the Week throughout this football season. Each week, the Nespoli Athlete of the Week, please visit us on our Instagram and Facebook pages.
They even provide sanitary service to campgrounds, parks, parties, and have 24
issues keep you from doing what you love. Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute is your orthopedic partner in Hazleton. With same-day appointments available, our team of experts treat everything from joint pain and sports injuries to orthopedic trauma. Live life fully again with Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute, located at 26 Station Circle in the Humboldt Industrial Park. Visit lvhn.org/ortho or call 833-LV-ORTHO. Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute. Your health deserves a partner.
Mason's Monogramming has the largest selection of Bulldog items in Berwick. Family owned with more than 30 years experience and new Bulldog wear for every age, including masks, tees, polos, sweater shirts, jackets, and hats. They even have brand new indestructible silicone cups, koozies, car coasters, decals, and more. Shop at masonsmonogram.com for their new items and select in-person pickup or shipping right to you. Follow their Instagram at Mason's Monogram for their latest new items. Mason's Monogram service in Berwick. Let them personalize for you.
Hi, this is Cassidy from the Independence Ford Service Department, Route 11 in Bloomsburg. Does your Ford or Lincoln vehicle need service? Having trouble getting an appointment at your usual service center? At Independence Ford, we can and will take care of all your service needs. Regardless of where you purchase your Ford or Lincoln vehicle, our goal is to get you back on the road. Give me a call for an appointment today at 784-1414.
Come and get a great deal and total satisfaction.
Independence Ford, better people, better prices.
Saves today on a great selection of the best appliance brands and discover top-notch service at Flick Brothers Electric in Bloomsburg. Browse their showroom, which features appliances in a variety of different kitchen configurations and offers appliances and water heaters for every budget. Flick Brothers showcases top names like GE and GE Monogram, Whirlpool, Frigidaire, KitchenAid, Maytag, Sharp, Amana, and built in the USA Speed Queen and Viking appliances. Flick Brothers Electric, Maple Lane, Bloomsburg for over 65 years. Call 570-784-3444.
This is Berwick football coach Mike Bennett. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Southern Columbia is showing why they are the six-time defending Class AA state champions, rolling over Berwick here in the opener tonight by a score of 50-0. For an update on other scores in this opening night of the 2023 season, let's go back to the studios of Pop Radio and Julie Lentz.
Thanks again, Jim and Andy. And can I just say it is wonderful to be working with both of you again. I'm so happy. Can't wait to be doing Bloomsburg University football as well. So looking down because we finished so early, a lot of these are still playing. Danville is ahead of Bloomsburg 53-0 in the third. Valley View, Crestwood tied at 14-14 in the fourth. Hazelton is up against Pittston area 14-7 in the third. Wyoming Valley West is ahead of North Pocono 14-6 in the third. Wyoming area is ahead of Tunkhannock 13-4 in the third. Scranton ahead of Wilkes-Barre 28-27 in the third. State College is ahead of Williamsport 49-17 in the fourth. Mount Carmel is ahead of North Schuylkill 27-13 in the third. Selinsgrove and Delaware Valley tied at 14-14 in the third. Shikellamy is ahead of Central Columbia 14-7 in the fourth. Jersey Shore is ahead of Pottsville 47-7 in the third. Lewisburg Shamokin tied at 13-13 in the fourth. South Williamsport, that is a final. They beat Milton 14-0. Montoursville is ahead of Wellsboro 49-0 in the third. Loyalsock is ahead of Berks Catholic 25-21 in the fourth. Mifflinburg is ahead of Midwest 35-0 in the third. And Shenandoah Valley is ahead of Columbia Montour Votech 43-20 in the third. That's all I got for tonight. So let's go back to the Tiger Stadium with Jim Doyle and Andy Ulickney.
.86 in the air, all in the first half, for a total of 392. Berwick finishes with 128 on the ground. I have them with about 25 in the air. I got a little sloppy there, so I checked the newspaper. Total of 153 yards by my tally. Leading the rushers, Tyler Winter and quarterback Ethan Lear. Tyler Winter had a big burst of 39 yards in the second half to pad his total. He finishes with 13 carries for 78 yards on the game. Quarterback Ethan Lear, a part of this running offense, an integral part of it, 9 carries for 36 yards for him. Jimmy DeAndre had 3 yards on 1 carry. Gavin Galusha, 6 yards on 3. The team lost 9 on a bad snap. Quarterback Jake Lisnock looked nice, finishing up the game, 2 carries for 18 yards for him. I mentioned 4 of 8 in the passing game by my count, 25 yards, 153 yards total offense for Berwick. A little sloppy in the turnovers. I counted 3 fumbles and an interception. We saw that sideways pass. Depends how people want to count that, but a little bit too sloppy against a team as good as Southern Columbia. And Southern Columbia is good. Game as advertised. 392 yards in total offense. And again, going rather vanilla in the second half. In the running game, 306 yards on 38 carries. The big 3 that started the game, Loudon Murphy, 8 carries for 47 yards. Looked solid, looked smooth running. Carter Madden seemed to run with an abandon, really used his acceleration well. A couple of touchdowns went his way. I have him with 9 carries for 44. Garrett Garcia really started off strong. Didn't have as many carries in the latter half of the game. I have him with 10 carries for 124 yards. After that, Joey Williams, 3 carries for 11. Brady Arnold, a carry for 7. Jack Biermoss, a 2-yard carry. Braden Andrews had the big one, Jim. We were really impressed with the 47-yard touchdown run. 2 carries in all for 53 yards for Braden Andrews. Caden Hopper, 2 for 10. Gavin Brown, 2 for 8 to round things off. Quarterbacks didn't carry at all. Martino did not throw a pass. Blake Weiss in the first half, and that's all the passing, 5 of 9, 86 yards. Making the catches, Jay Coy, a 23-yarder. Loudon Murphy caught a 27-yarder for a touchdown. Carter Madden caught a 2-yarder. Garrett Garcia caught 2 for a total of 34 yards. 86 in the air for Southern, 306 on the ground, a total of 392. They're a little sloppy with the football at times, a couple of turnovers by my count as well. But, hey, it's the opener, Jim, and we got one in.
Hey, great to have you back.
Great to be back.
See you at Crispin Field next Friday.
I'll be there.
With the victory, Southern Columbia, obviously 1-0. They'll be home against the Shamokin area next Friday. For the Bulldogs, they will be home against Valley View, the home opener at Crispin Field. We hope you'll join us for the broadcast. As usual, we'll start with the Coach Bennett Show at 6. That final game tonight, Southern Columbia 50 and Berwick nothing. For Andy Lichtney and our producer, Julie Lentz, this is Jim Doyle reminding you heard it live on Pop Radio.
Mason's Monogramming has the largest selection of Bulldog items in Berwick. Family owned with more than 30 years experience and new Bulldog wear for every age, including masks, tees, polos, sweater shirts, jackets, and hats. They even have brand new indestructible silicone cups, koozies, car coasters, decals, and more. Shop at masonsmonogram.com for their new items and select in-person pickup or shipping right to you. Follow their Instagram at Mason's Monogram for their latest new items. Mason's Monogram service in Berwick. Let them personalize for you.
Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas of Berwick. The roofing experts for all of our listening area. With over 30 years experience and great rates, why go anywhere else when Red's Roofing will get the job done right for your roofing, decks, and siding, specializing in metal roofs, rubber roofs, and shingles. Most of the work is done in one day. Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas. Now located in Dushore and also serving Bradford and Sullivan counties with owner Harry Titus, a supporter of the Berwick football team and St. Jude Children's Hospital. Call 570-752-4351.
Hi, this is Cassidy from the Independence Ford Service Department, Route 11 in Bloomsburg. Does your Ford or Lincoln vehicle need service? Having trouble getting an appointment at your usual service center? At Independence Ford, we can and will take care of all your service needs. Regardless of where you purchase your Ford or Lincoln vehicle, our goal is to get you back on the road. Give me a call for an appointment today at 784-1414.
Come and get a great deal and total satisfaction.
Independence Ford, better people, better prices.
Don't let orthopedic issues keep you from doing what you love. Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute is your orthopedic partner in Hazleton. With same-day appointments available, our team of experts treat everything from joint pain and sports injuries to orthopedic trauma. Live life fully again with Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute, located at 26 Station Circle in the Humboldt Industrial Park. Visit lvhn.org/ortho or call 833-LV-ORTHO. Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute. Your health deserves a partner.
Hi, this is Jonathan from Nespoli Jewelers in Berwick. We are happy to announce that once again we will have the Nespoli Jewelers Athlete of the Week throughout this football season. Each week, the Berwick coaches will choose an athlete who worked hard, was a good teammate, and put forth his best effort all week. We will announce this student athlete on this station prior to the Berwick football game, and we will be honoring him by donating $100 in his name to the charity of his choice. For more information on the chosen Nespoli Athlete of the Week, please visit us on our Instagram and Facebook pages.
Planning your next big event? Weddings, concerts, church festivals, even construction sites. Preferred Portables has you covered. Preferred Portables offers a luxury restroom trailer that even has hot water. No power? No problem. They can provide a generator to keep the lights on. They even provide sanitary service to campgrounds, parks, parties, and have 24-hour emergency service. Contact Preferred Portables to learn about event and contractor pricing. Check out their website, preferredportables.com. We're number one when you have to go number two.
Mason Mason's Monogramming has the largest selection of Bulldog items in Berwick. Family owned with more than 30 years experience and new Bulldog wear for every age, including masks, tees, polos, sweater shirts, jackets, and hats. They even have brand new indestructible silicone cups, koozies, car coasters, decals, and more. Shop at masonsmonogram.com for their new items and select in-person pickup or shipping right to you. Follow their Instagram at Mason's Monogram for their latest new items. Mason's Monogram service in Berwick. Let them personalize for you.
Looking for convenient and reliable dumpster rentals for your residential or commercial project? EcoFirst Logistics has you covered with dumpster rentals from Bloomsburg to Hazleton and surrounding areas. Their dumpster rental service is designed to make waste disposal easy, hassle-free, and eco-friendly. Whether you're planning a construction or renovation project, junk removal, or a major cleanup, they carry a range of dumpster sizes to fit your needs and ensure that what can be saved is sorted out. On the web at eco-firstlogistics.com or on Facebook.
Here we go!
Hit music for Buckhorn.
Turn it up!
This is Pop Radio, the culture you crave.